They talked on X.
I'll take just that wall!
They ranted and screeched like little bitches. They talked bigly. They fucked around. And found out. Now there's no way out. Running scared, running very scared.
You can run.
But it's already behind you.
Go!
Keep pushing! Almost there!
Coming soon. Coming soon.
They're right behind us!
The wall! Go! Wait! We have to keep moving!
I can't stop shaking.
We have to move! Now!
What is that sound?
Wow. That's a great movie. That looks like something I'd really like to see. What do you guys think? You think that'd be a good movie? Think that would be something we'd all be interested in? Let me see. Is that better? How's my sound? Is my sound too loud? My sound too quiet? I was told last night my sound was way too loud, so I had to turn it down. But I don't know if it's me or something else. At least they're agile. That's right, Kofi. What's up? Great to see you. What's up, Arizona Merce? How you doing? Oh, wow. Reinstated. That's right. We got reinstated. Yes, I did. I did lose the appeal, but then thanks to a whole bunch of people on X and other stuff that tweeted out about it and made a big stink, YouTube reversed it. Shockingly. What's up, Dawn? Awesome to have you here. See who else is here. Pat Hacker, awesome to see you here. None of your business. Good to see you. Jay Schwartz, awesome. Good evening. G Shark Man, awesome to have you. Kofi's here too. Awesome. Snarf, what's up? G Shark Man, good to see you. Lynn, what's up? Got message you're on now. Yay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Jonathan Marcus, what's up? And we're back. Hello, Chad. That's right. We're here. We're here. Yes, we were reinstated. We were reinstated. We want to be reinstated. I want to go and know where to go. I want to be reinstated. I think it's I Want to Be Sedated. It's the song by the Clash, right? No, not the Clash. The Ramones. The Ramones. What the fuck am I thinking of Clash? Wow. Anybody, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Great to see you tonight. My name is Jim, and we got some news to talk about tonight. We got some good stories, as you can tell if you looked at the thumbnail and everything, read the description, that the DOJ has decided to reinstate firing squads for capital punishment. Yeah, so for the death penalty, they're going back to firing squads. Which, let me just say, wow. And then there was another story we're going to talk about. It's called Operation Gangster Paradise, Gangstas. I'm sorry, Gangstas Paradise, where a bunch of cartel-linked gang members, Mexican Mafia, I think they're called, over 40 of them were arrested in this. Never worry about the sound. I have to. Your advice is a giant hammer. I don't know what Snarf you're starting. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know if you're being joking. Will they be public firing squads? We can only pray. We can only pray. That would be your choice if you had to be executed. Well, I mean, that's what I call going out with a bang, right? And then also, it seems maybe that the peace talks are back on in Pakistan. So Pakistanis have brought a bunch of people. It looks like JD Vance isn't going back so far. It just looks like Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are heading back to meet with the Pakistanis and possibly the foreign minister of Iran. We're not sure exactly who they're meeting with, so we'll have to wait and see. Wait and see who that is. So let's get right into this first story here. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. How do I always do that lately? I'd be forgetting. So there is a goal tonight, as there is every night, just about, when we do a new show. The way it works, boo, Jim, going out with a bang. Well, it is what it is, Steve. Sometimes I try to be funny. Sometimes I fail. Usually I fail. But so let's see here. So the goal. I set the goal. It's $100. It's set on YouTube, I believe. And what it means is that for every, no matter what type of donation comes in, it could be a super chat, it could be a Rumble rant, it could be Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, whatever you want to call it, KOFI, or super tips. Those links are pinned in the chat. Or it could be like becoming a member on YouTube or Rumble, gifting memberships. Could also be like gifted memberships on Kick and Twitch. It could be Locals coins. It could be any number of things. We add it all up and we get to $100. We add an extra hour to the show. And then for each additional 100 that comes in, we add an additional extra hour to the show. So the show could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5, 6, 8, 12, 10, you name it. Whatever you guys want it to be, that's how long the show is going to be. Then as an added bonus, what I like to do is when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision for the... Hey, wait, what? Where's Bella? Where is Bella? Oh, my Lord, Bella's missing. Let's find her. There she is. Just chilling. She's reading books over there. So, yeah, when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision for the evening. And unless, of course, somebody is so generous that if an individual person donates $25 or greater, that will automatically activate Bellavision for the evening. That actually, Pat Hacker, that wasn't by accident last night. That was that was a friend of mine, the guy that I did he knew what he was doing. That was low watermark. He's the guy that was on the guy that was the glass of bourbon on the Theory Thursday stream that I was with. So he did that on purpose as a joke, like just to mess with Joe. So, anyway, so we'll activate Bellavision. If someone gives $25 or greater, we activate Bellavision. That could be like a $25 super chat. It could be a Rumble rant. It could be a Cash App or a PayPal. It could also be, 5 gifted memberships would be, Bellavision for the evening. So, launder Cash App. So the DOJ announces it's reinstated the death by firing squad as an execution method. He looks like he wants to do it himself. Department of Justice announced on Friday that it has re-adopted firing squads as a mean to carry out the federal death sentence. Yeah, he was messing. He did that purposely to mess with Joe. He texted me and told me he was going to do it. And I was like, oh, dude, don't. He's like, I'm going to donate to you and then see what Joe does. I was like, all right. So the DOJ said the move was part of an effort to restore its solemn duty to seek, obtain, and implement lawful capital sentences. A press release from the department said among the actions taken are readopting the lethal injection protocol utilized during the first Trump administration, expanding the protocol to include additional manners of execution such as firing squad, and streamlining internal processes to expedite death penalty cases. So yeah, so like they're also going back to, I think, phenobarbital or something like that, because the stuff that they had, the lethal injection medicine, I don't know if you guys remember this or not or know about it, that they had a cocktail of drugs, like a 3-drug cocktail or something that they would give to people. And the first one would like stop, the first one would stop their heart and then keep it from breathing, like this weird drug thing, like where they could paralyze them and did all this stuff. So that was basically painless, they said. I mean, I don't know if it was painless or not. They said it was painless. I don't know. I mean, but people who object to the death penalty basically forced the companies, they bought the company that makes the drugs and are refusing to sell it to the government. So that's why they got to do these things. It said these steps are critical to deter the most barbaric crimes, delivering justice for victims, and providing long overdue closure to surviving loved ones. Can we count it for tonight? If low watermark was to say he wanted me to count it towards tonight, I would, but he didn't tell me that. So I feel like that would be, I would be ruining his joke. A firing squad would be a better way of going a better way of going than a stabbing squad. Yeah. Like you got to remember the first, like they used to, I don't know about first, but the way that you remember they used to do like the guillotine where it would chop somebody's head off, and like, they were still alive for a minute or two. Like your brain was still working. They saw their head tumble down and all that stuff. They couldn't, their brain was still functioning. It's like what happens with a chicken. They heard the expression, it's like running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Like that's a real thing. Like a chicken's body will continue to run around after its head's chopped off. Like, so I don't know. I mean, I don't really know if there is really a truly humane way. Like maybe the only humane way would be like, would be like for some way where the person just goes to sleep and then, I don't know. Oh, America First says, death isn't supposed to be nice. I know, but we don't want to do like, yes, Jim, read books stiff. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, fentanyl. Well, I mean, I don't know if fentanyl would be, we would say that, because look at George Floyd. He died of fentanyl and he was screaming the whole time and saying, help me, I can't breathe. And look at all that, look at the amount of people's lives that ruins. I don't know that would work. Oh, Joe says, let us begin. Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe, for the $2. With that $2, that means right now we are $98 away from adding a first additional hour to the show and only $48 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much, Joe. Yeah. Hey, what's up, NASCAR Mo? Great to see you. I don't think the human body operates the same as a chicken. You don't think that the brain is still alive for a minute or two after that, with the blood in it and everything? I don't know. I mean, how would you? I mean, I've swore that I read that after people's heads got chopped off in the guillotine, their head would roll into a basket or whatever, and then people would see their eyes still moving and looking around and stuff. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think you could talk, like you couldn't move your mouth at all because your neck, the muscles control that. But Raid, thank you for the raid. That's awesome. Thank you so much. For 8 seconds, then you pass out. So 8 seconds after your head gets chopped off, you're still alive? Raid alert, raid alert. Thank you so much, Raiders, coming over from Robert. Thank you so much. Wow. That is awesome. Greatly appreciated. Why is what is it with the screen today? Seems something seems off on my screen. Like, I don't know. Yes, hi Raiders. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Raiders. Thanks for coming. Let's check it out. Ask if Comey rolled his eyes. Oh, oof. That's rough. That's a roughie in there. That's a rough thing to say about Mr. Komisky. That's a rough thing to say about Mr. Kominsky. Kominsky, whatever his name is. So, acting Attorney General said in a statement the prior administration failed in its duty to protect the American people by refusing to pursue and carry out the death penalty. Instead, they opted for, other punishments for the most dangerous, including terrorists, child murderers, and cop killers. Actually, a carotid artery stabbing seems like not a bad way to go. Showing that video had got Raquel Law banned for over a week. Oh, I know what video you're talking about too. You're talking about the one with was that in Australia or no? Where was that in? Where the guy got stabbed like right here. Somebody stabbed him with a knife, or right in. It was like a mall stabbing, and it went right in there. And when they pulled the knife out, the blood just went pouring out, and the guy just pretty much collapsed. Was that? I think that was Australia. I'm not sure. That was bad. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for being here, buddy. Hope you're having a great night. Thank you for being here. Australia. Yeah, I thought it was Australia. Lady Bamas has just dropped in to say hi. I'm having a gallbladder flare up right now, so I'm laying down. Oh my God. Well, listen, that stuff is nothing to play with. I had some bad episodes of gallbladder, and before I knew what it was, like I was on the floor in the bathroom, thought I was dying. Like basically, I thought I almost passed out and stuff like that. And then, when they told me it was my gallbladder, and they said, "Oh, here, take this medicine, it'll clear it up." And then when they finally said it was time to come out, I had it removed. The only difference I'll say, the only thing that's noticeable difference is that you can't eat it as much like rich food, like buttery food, stuff like that, really rich, like, whatever you want to call it, like, stuff with cream and butter and stuff like that, or greasy food. It really bothers you, greasy food. That's about it. I don't know. Yours works at 70%. Yeah, no, mine was getting real bad. I had like you'll know it's really bad because when you go to the bathroom, it looks like you're going Pepsi or Coca-Cola. That was a long minute. Well, it happens, it happens. Your gallbladder issues were worse when when I was in my early teens versus now when you're 50. Well, it could be. There was something else that was going on that was causing those attacks to happen. But mine, dang bacon, love it and have to pay for it. Yeah, no, but like I love bacon too, but I don't. I used to eat bacon like 4 times a week. Now I only eat it once a week because it bothers me for like 2 days. But anyway, my point is that it depends on whether or not what's causing this issue with your gallbladder. If your gallbladder is just like your body and it's messed up or something like that, but then they might be able to keep it and stuff like that. But basically, like my gallbladder got destroyed because of a medication I was taking. Then by the time they realized what was going on, it was too late. My gallbladder was just basically destroyed. Oh, you had to wait a minute to tell if you could chat after you subscribe is what you meant. Well, I'm sorry, Tony. The only reason we do that is to keep the bots out because I was having an issue with bots coming in and posting like weird stuff about like, check out this site or blah, blah, blah. And so, that's the only reason. Generally speaking, if you subscribe and you're still waiting, it's telling you you're not subscribed long enough, just refresh the page and it should be fine. Pam Graham says, not me. I had chronic constipation all my life. I even had my gallbladder removed and still have chronic constipation. No. Maybe, yeah, I hate bots too, Red Alert. I hate bots too. I was saying, no, if your gallbladder is like not working, if it's not functioning, when you urinate, it will look like Coca-Cola. That's what it looked like. I was peeing soda pop, like Coke or Pepsi. That's what it looked like. I was like, what is going on here? You can't emulsify the fats. That's what your gallbladder does. It emulsifies the fat. So, yeah. So green bile. Yeah. No, don't worry. I was just talking. I was just letting you know. Sometimes people don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I had a stomach virus that traveled my intestines and damaged my gallbladder. My body was poisoning itself. Oh my God, that's horrible. I hope you feel better. I just want everyone to feel better. Well, the announcement came alongside the release of a report titled Restoring and Strengthening the Federal Death Penalty, which Pat Ecker says use magnesium citrate. Is that like Ducalax, or what is it called? Mucilax? Ducalax? No, what is it called? The Miralax. Is that like Miralax? Not your favorite topic. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll change it. So he said that despite federal prosecutors consistently seeking and defending capital sentences under the leadership of both political parties, the department has not prioritized implementing them. Oh, guess yours didn't have time to do that because your gallbladder surgery was an emergency one. Yeah. Well, that's my gallbladder surgery was an emergency one too, but it was after I had like a really bad attack. I was laying on the floor. My sister found me on the floor. This was like 2012, I think, 2013, something like that. My sister found me on the floor. She came to visit, came looking for me, couldn't find me. So found me on the floor of the bathroom and was like, oh my God, took me to the hospital. And and they're like, you had a gallbladder attack. And then they looked and they're like, well, your gallbladder is about 30 to 40%. So it should be okay. It should, whatever. But it just, I was taking this medication. I think it was called gabapentin or something like that. And then they were like, yeah, once they found another doctor was like, oh my God, that's destroying your gallbladder. But then it was too late. I had a really bad attack, went to the hospital and they took it out. There's been like 4 people in the last 6 months that I've had to get their gallbladder taken out. I don't know at work. It seems like it's a more common thing than it used to be. I don't know if it is or isn't. I don't know. I haven't looked at the studies. What's been up with all these top official firings? I don't know who you mean. You're talking about like the Navy secretary? Is that who you're talking about? Are you talking about someone else? You're talking about that's the only one I know of lately was the Navy secretary got fired. And that was because he was going against the basically what everyone wanted with building ships. He was trying to say like, we don't need to build these ships. They cost too much money. So the report stated that under the Biden administration, Merrick Garland, hiss, boo, boo, imposed a moratorium on federal executions. Hey, what's up, Greg? Evening, fellow Jimites. Well, Jimmyites, it's actually the Jimsomniacs. We're the Jimsomniacs because sometimes we go all night. Gabapentin was terrible for me. Made me very irritated. Everything almost lost your job because of it. Yeah, I did not like the way it made me feel. There was another medication that I got put on for a while that was called Effexor. Venlafaxine, I think it was, right? Venlafaxine. That when I stopped taking it, I felt like my brain was getting like these electric shocks, like zzz, zzz, zzz. Like I was like, what the hell did you do to me? So Jimsomniacs, like you can't sleep, you're an insomniac. Like I can't sleep, I'm an insomniac, but a Jimsomniac, not a Jim Similac. That would be Jim Breast Milk, no Jim Similac. Lexapro, was that it? Venlafaxine, is that Lexapro? I don't know, man. It was whatever Venlafaxine is. And that thing, man, I don't know, it was bad. For years, you took Colace, but then it started giving you heartburn. Oh, Dr. Messiah. Lexapro gives you the brain shock. Yeah, so did whatever this was. It was called venlafaxine was the generic. I thought they said it was Effexor. I don't know, man. It was bad though. I was like, never again. Somalia. Oh. Jim Somalia. Oh. He also recommended President Biden commute the lawful death sentences of 37 convicted murderers, and he did so without fully considering the views of the victim's family. Yeah, that's right. You remember Biden just commuted all these people, all the people on death row. Just there you go. Not all of them, but pretty much all of them that weren't like terrorists and stuff like that. You think it was Lexapro that messed your head up bad? Had to quit taking it? Yeah. Like somebody, like, I don't know, man. Some of these drugs that some people say they're the best thing that they save their life, but man, some of them really, really, really mess you up, man. Like, not just, they don't make you like, not just that they make people do crazy things, like go and do like, Thomas Crooks type of things. Like you wonder what he was on, but, yeah, Effexor is for depression. Did zip for you. Yeah, that's you tried Effexor and took Debican for decades to stop getting shocked. Yeah, well, I was on. It was on the Effexor and the gabapentin, and they said it was supposed to be for pain, but it helped with depression because they said, well, you're in a lot of pain because of your back injury, so you're going to be depressed. So take this. I don't know. I don't know. The stuff the FBI washed off the roof. Oh, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. What happened with our former president? He has disappeared. Supposedly, he's still alive and he has cancer. So I don't know. You're on a gabapentin now. I don't know. I did not like what way it made me feel, and it made you dizzy. You stopped taking it, and it destroyed my gallbladder. It did. That's what destroyed my gallbladder. All SSRI meds give you brain zap when you stop taking them. Wow. That's not good. So the report from the Office of Legal Policy called for the DOJ to re-adopt the use of pentobarbital in lethal injections, and that the Bureau of Prisons should modify its execution protocol to include additional constitutional manners of execution to ensure that the department's prepared to carry out lawful executions even if the drug is unavailable. He wasn't alive 2 years ago. Okay, well, you're right about that. You're on a ton of pain meds. The Lexapro was supposed to help them work better. Well, that's what they told me about the Effexor. That's what I think it was venlafaxine. I think that's what, unless it was Lexapro. I don't know. It was a long time ago. But I don't take none of that stuff anymore. I have a spinal cord stimulator that basically shocks me all day long to keep, and it keeps everything on the up and up. You had to stop driving from gabapentin? Yeah. In regards to firing squads, reports stated, with lethal injection protocols facing supply issues, some states have reinstated the use of firing squads, another historically common method for capital punishment. The report noted that the long history of such an execution, that in recent years, death row inmates have begun to argue that execution by firing squad is feasible, readily implemented alternative to lethal injection and carried fewer risks. Oh, what's up? Who's handsome? He says, I'm behind, but bring back public square hangings too. Why not? Like I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know. Spinal cord stimulator. He calls it the wife. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know why they don't let the victim's family, like, why? Just think about it. Why couldn't you let the victim's family? I don't know. Is that cruel to say let the victim's family, draw and maybe be part of the firing squad? I don't know. You can take your tens off. Sometimes I wish it was implanted. Dang thing is hard to get on at times. Yeah, well, I also have a tens. I have a tens unit that I use sometimes too on my arm, on my legs and stuff like that. But the implanted one, I'm going to tell you, the first one I had it worked good, but then it's like something happened and it stopped working. And then when like every 6 or 7 years, they've got to replace the battery pack and stuff. And so when they went to replace the battery pack this last time, 2 years ago, something, they said, hey, the wire slipped. You want us to go and do this new thing, and we can put these new pads on, and we can actually attach them to your bone and stuff, so they can't move and they'll stay in place. And these are great. Do you hear that dog? That's the dog. So these work great. They're attached. They can't move, and they're not just like the first ones were just like a wire that just had like open spots where it would like do things you could adjust where it was. This one has actual pads that are attached, and so it's better. They removed your TENS unit. Now talking surgery. I wish I never had back surgery. If I could go back and tell myself back in 2010, 2011, and say, yeah, don't get back surgery, I probably wouldn't have. I wouldn't have did it, because I personally, maybe it's just my own head. I think the back surgery made my back worse, because like the first surgery, and then it just seems to just spiral from there, where things just got worse and worse and worse, and then it was another surgery, then another surgery, and then I don't know. Your implant only works when you're in certain positions. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, you didn't have a choice. I couldn't walk again unless I had the surgery. Well, that's the thing. That's what they told me. Actually, they say, oh, if you don't get the surgery, you won't. You're going to have to do this. Otherwise, you might not be able to walk. It's going to start affecting you. You're able to walk. You're going to lose strength and all this stuff. And so I don't know, but you had a temporary single implant for 3 days. Didn't reduce the pain. So for the drugs. Oh, well, they don't, they work for some people. They don't work for other people. I mean, it's like anything. You opted for the drugs. Yeah. Well, I mean, I still take pain pills, like twice a day when it gets real, that's Bella. Yeah, that is Bella. Here, let's see. We'll show you. Oh, she moved again. I still take pain pills twice a day as needed. But now look at her. She's going to run away again. I swear, Bella, you're like, man, she's barking at the cat because the cat's under the bed. I think the cat's teasing her. When the spinal stimulators are relatively newly implanted, the pads move a bit. Laying back helps it work. Sitting or standing moves it away from your core. Okay. Sugar is the cause of most problems. Alcohol is sugar. I will tell you something that this is just from my own personal experience. This is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. But I have noticed for myself that getting vitamin B shots actually helps a lot with back pain. I don't know why. I've been told, I don't know if it's true, that the vitamin B12 actually helps your cartilage or like your something in there, your discs maybe. It helps them heal themselves. That the pain and the problems in your back causes you to get depleted B12, and so having more B12 actually helps. I feel better now that I get the 2B. It helps the nerves heal. Okay, yeah, I get 2 B12 shots a month, and it makes me feel a lot better. It really does. I don't know, like if I'm late like 3 weeks and I don't get one, I can feel like, oh, I need one. So, I don't know. Alcohol's a big problem for you. Okay. Red Alert says, I'm a disabled veteran. I've been just about therapeutic known to a man. TENS, PT, aquatherapy, acupuncture, red light. Still on red light. 5 cervical, 5 lumbar with fibromyalgia. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's got to be something going on that's causing all this to happen the way, like, what happened, we're deteriorating. Something's going on. Is it our food? Is it what we're drinking? Something is causing our bodies to break down. Tony says, I would agree with that. I've heard that. Jim, I have severe chronic muscle spasms from cervical spine surgery. Just had your 2 for a bulging disc in the lower back. Avoid surgery if any surgery possible. Yeah, I mean, that's my advice. And unless you absolutely have to get surgery, like there's like telling you, folic acid repairs the nerves. Unless they're telling you have to, or you're going to be, you take B12 every day, it helps with energy, but your nerve damage is permanent. B12 works best for neuropathy for diabetics. Okay. Yeah. Karen says, I'm going to get some beers. I'll be listening back in an hour. Okay. Well, have one for me. So, yeah. You think herbicides, pesticides, and food and water is your guess? It got to be something. There's got to be something that's doing this. That's I don't know. There's got to be something. There's got to be something that's causing everybody, because it's just like almost everybody has some issue when you talk to them. And it's like, what is going on? And I'm not talking about people in their 90s. I'm talking about people in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Yeah, John says, our chat is the walking wounded. You have L2345 disc degeneration. Wow. Oh, my God. I feel ya. I feel you. I don't know. Is there anything? Have you talked to your doctor about it? Because there's other things now. I heard other things that they have. They have other treatments now. They have some kind of stuff that they can supposedly inject in there that can cause the discs to like self heal. I don't know. Yeah, the B12 needs to be injected. It's for the stomach, not the digestive pills. You can do some lingual under the tongue. Well, yeah, that's the difference. If you take oral B12. And I'm not a doctor, but if you take oral B12, most of it has to get filtered out by your liver and kidneys and everything. So you basically are just peeing out B12 liquid. It's not getting into your body. The best way is to get the shot, and it lasts like 2 to 3 weeks. B12 shot is not expensive. I think it's like $2-3 a shot. Stem cells, is that what it is? Stem cells in there? There's something, I don't know. Your issues are from degenerative disc disease. Well, that's the thing. What is causing, Mark, what is causing everyone to get degenerative disc disease now? Like almost everybody I know has degenerative disc disease, or they have fibromyalgia, degenerative disc disease, bulging disc. Everyone I know has that problem. And actually it's not people in their 80s or 90s. It's people that are around my age. Hey, Chuck Fetch says, Jim's Gimps with limps. How's it, Jim telling everybody? Yeah. You think it's the fluoride in the water? That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows. It's got to be something. You have it bad and you're 49. That's what I'm saying. It's like everybody, like, what changed? Okay, let's examine this. What changed in like the 1960s or 70s that caused kids, or even what us kids at the time, kids of the 70s, kids of the 80s, what happened? What did we put in our bodies that are causing stuff like this to break down? That's the thing. Hey, thanks, Garfield. Thanks a lot. I have all the people on X and that said something, and all the people on here and stuff that sent messages YouTube. That's what did it. Vaccines. It could be the vaccines. It could be. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it is, but something's got to be causing it. It's not just all of a sudden, like, I mean, is it the solar flares? I don't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's something. The GMO food, the Flintstones vitamins. Yeah. Quacks with cracks. That's right. Food change. People stop eating whole foods. It could be all the ultra processed food. It could be the chemicals in the food. It could be like the stuff they're using, for like killing weeds or some pesticides. It could be, but something. It could be a whole bunch of things, and actually it could be a whole bunch of things. It's just like you'll get like this. If you get just this, it's okay. If you get just this, it's okay. But if you get this and this, then it's a problem. Hey, okay, go eat dinner. Go eat dinner. Come on back later, Mark. We'll probably still be here. It's all the plastics. It could be the plastics. We know. Well, not we. I don't know. I've read studies that the microplastics are what's causing the rapid decline of testosterone in men. That all the stuff in plastic is what's doing it. So I don't know. Most of the chemicals they put in our food are toxic. Europe bans a lot of the stuff we eat. I know even like Canada bans a bunch of stuff we eat. Canada bans a ton of the stuff we eat, but yet we still do it. When did they change the food pyramid? Could it be that? Been studying the whole carnivore thing. I don't even know. I think the food pyramid. The food pyramid might have been something that came around in the 70s or 80s. I don't know if they had that in the 50s and 60s. All the pharmaceuticals that get flushed down the toilets. Yeah, that's poisoning the water. Seed oils back in the 1900s. Your doctor just wants you to throw a pill at something, doesn't get a root cause. Well, that's how almost all doctors are now. That's all they are, is they just sit there to write prescriptions. Glyphosate was invented in 1974. I don't know, just saying. Food pyramid came out in the 90s. You believe us? I'm saying I don't think it's that old. I don't think the food pyramid was that old. The nutrients in vegetables isn't as high as it was when we were younger. You thought it was the soy products that did it. It could be any number of things. It could be from your parents' generation to generation, the change from whole food to processed food was amazing, just absolutely different. Your father had a heart attack, and your mother changed our diet. Yeah. Yeah, the food pyramid is trash. Yeah, it is. Europe approaches food different than the U.S. The ban unless proven safe. We approve until proven unsafe. Yeah, we do that. We do that. Yeah, at this point, what is good? What do you buy that's good for you? You have no idea. No, nobody does. That's the problem. Nobody does. Nobody does. I mean, they're adding, they're changing so much stuff, and they're giving steroids to the cows and the chickens. And I mean, Jesus, man, I don't know. I don't know what to take, what's good anymore. The war against cholesterol and meat probably could be it. And they want the money kickbacks from the insurance companies, so they prescribe a lot of stuff you don't even need. Yeah. The reason the U.S. allows all this poison is a result of unrestricted capitalism, dollars over science and people. And I'm not going to deny that that has something to do with it. You know, there's too much money involved. They irradiate the vegetables from what you heard. Wow. Plastic isn't good for you when it heats up and gets in your system. It stays there forever. Yeah, the microplastics they're saying is terrible. The doctors are pill pushers, never following it. A problem with that statement is people are not eating whole vegetables like they should and fruit. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but what's like, here's the thing, what's in the vegetables? Like my grandkids get fruit and vegetables with every meal. Every meal. Well, not bread. They don't get vegetables with breakfast, but they get fruit with breakfast, but they get vegetables with lunch. They get, beans, carrots, peas with every meal. The lunch and dinner, always vegetables, always fruit. With dinner, like they get a lot of watermelon because they love watermelon, like pineapple, cantaloupe, muskmelon, strawberries, cherries, apples, grapes. They love that stuff, and I make sure they get it because kids need that stuff. What if microplastics is the new climate change? I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, they're not really pushing it that hard, though, are they? The powers that be are not saying microplastics are a problem. They're telling us, go ahead, keep. I think they're worried. Here's the thing, though. Microplastics could be a way to go after the oil companies because all that stuff's made using oil. So they can sue all the oil companies for it. So I don't know. Maybe it's a way to get around. I don't know. It's not capitalism. It's corporations that don't play by capitalism rules. Pesticides are still sprayed on our crops and they contaminate the groundwater. I agree. Corporations were allowed to run amok in the program. The population believed there would be goods shortage unless they turned to GMO processed food. She has 12 gardens and still start all non-GMO seedlings in the house under lamps every year. Canned, fresh, or frozen. Generally, it's fresh fruit, not canned fruit. The vegetables are usually either canned or fresh, not frozen. Just because, because they're kids, they're these little containers of the vegetables. They're little mini cans. So. You prefer the calcium cannon melons? Oh, okay. Those are nice too, but and try to do fresh and frozen. Yep. Okay. Just look at coffee. Good, good, bad, good, bad, good. Go figure. Yeah. Well, the same thing with eggs. They try to tell us that eggs are bad. No, eggs are good. Like I used to eat, like when I used to eat eggs almost every day. I used to eat, I used to eat a huge breakfast every day. I don't know if that's good for you or not. Like, I mean, definitely when you're working and stuff, it's good. But like, I just eat a small breakfast now. I don't eat a big breakfast every day. Like once or twice a week, I'll have a huge breakfast. Bacon, eggs, some French toast or something, pancake stuff. But doing that every day is, you want the plastic bags back in California. But that's the thing. I don't have any problem with like plastic bags or plastic containers as long as you're not cooking food in them. Like, I think that's where a lot of the stuff, canned foods have the plastic lining, the microplastic. Really, in the in like a Green Giant can has plastic in it. I mean, I know I heard that like Pepsi cans have like plastic lining. So, oh my god, wow. You can honestly say you always feel good after you eat eggs. Eggs have got so much stuff in there: protein, cholesterol, good cholesterol in the eggs, good stuff for you. I don't know. Let's see. Is there a before we get to the next story? Let's see. Is there a no? I thought there might be a little thing for us. So yeah, so it's the same thing. So they're bringing back the firing squad. I think we all agreed. I'd be more worried that a solar flare hit if I woke up one day and it didn't hurt. Oh yeah, all cans do because of the metal leaching scare. Oh my god, tin cans are holding on the inside. Oh shoot! Wow. So yeah, so they're bringing back the firing squad. Justice Department said on Friday it's taking actions to strengthen the death penalty. They're readopting lethal injection, utilizing whatever it was that the Trump administration, phenobarbital, and they're going to bring back the firing squad. Wow. What? Why is this commercial taking so long? What are you doing, commercial? I swear this commercial is like taking forever to play. It keeps stopping. Wow, look at Made in the USA, Made in Canada, Made in Italy. Wow, Earth Breeze. Support a small business. What is Earth Breeze? No parabens, no affiliates.
Oh, you'll love it.
Have civil rights and criminal defense attorney David Schoen with us. He was also President Trump's.
What does this have to do with the? Oh, whatever, man. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of them doing stuff like that. So yeah. So they're bringing back death penalties. All right, that sounds good. Bringing back firing squads. It's for dryer sheets. You get it all the time. Okay. And so sucks with corporations. They want to pinch pennies. They threw soy and whatever substitutes they can. Chili all soy. It's not real meat, maybe a little. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like I know this is going to sound bad, but I used to love as a kid growing up. I used to love Salisbury steaks, especially the Encore Salisbury steaks. Just the flavor, or whatever. They tasted like they had like charcoal flavor almost in them, like charbroil almost. They had a taste. I'm sure it was just some chemicals or something, but they tasted great as a kid growing up. Those things now, there's like hardly any meat in them. Like you get the patties, they're tiny, and then you start chewing them, and it's like, this is not meat. And you look, and they're mostly like a filler now. It's crazy. I mean, so I can't even buy those anymore because I'm like, how do I justify eating this stuff? I don't even know. I mean, the taste, the kind of the flavor is similar to the way it used to taste, like the gravy and stuff, but the meat is just not meat anymore. I don't know what it is, like all some kind of filler. And then like the Stouffer's ones now, I think it's real meat. They seem like it's meat and everything, but man, they're like super expensive. Wow. Like talking like $6 for a Salisbury steak TV dinner. It's like, that's a lot of money for a TV dinner. I remember things I've been looking for, a good can of chili. That I remember when I was a kid. There is none. No, I mean, like you can get, like if you, like honestly, if you want chili, and if there's a Culver's anywhere near you, go get some chili from Culver's. It's like the best chili around right now is Culver's from there, and it's not that expensive. You know, you can cook your own, make your own homemade chili. There's Carol Shelby has you can buy the box of Carol Shelby's chili mix, his award-winning chili mix, and make it yourself at home, and that's always good. But if you want like a quick thing, and you just want some chili that's good, and you just want, like right now, you want chili right now, you don't want to wait 5 hours to make your chili, just run to Culver's. Culver's has excellent chili. Excellent chili. You don't want to spend hours making chili. You just want to buy a good can of chili like you did in the 70s. You're not going to get it anymore, I don't think. I mean, even if you get like Steak and Shake chili, it's not really that good anymore. And like Hormel chili, not good anymore. I don't know. Just not good anymore. So the FBI arrested 43 Mexican mafia gang members in Orange County, California. Yes, Operation Gangsta's Paradise. FBI, Operation Gangsta's Paradise. So on Thursday, they arrested 43 Mexican mafia members in Orange County. According to the feds, the gang members committed various crimes such as kidnapping, extortion, drug trafficking, gambling, and murder. Wendy's chili is good. Wendy's chili, it's hit or miss. Wendy's chili is hit or miss from what I've seen in places I've gone. Sometimes it's good. Other times it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I'm just saying. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not. Wendy's chili used to be fantastic. But now I've gone and where it's like some of the chunks of meat looks like they just took a hamburger and cut it in like 4 pieces and threw it in there. You can make your own chili in a snap. Chili con carne. Wendy's used to be good. Yeah. Wendy's has beans. It's not chili. That's a good question, Tex. Here's the thing. And why is chili con carne, not just chili, but chili con carne? Why is chili con carne chili with beef? Does anyone know? Now, I don't know how true this is, but I was told that the origin of chili, the chili was a way to make something to make the beans in a different way. So they had some spices and flavors than just having beans out on. Yes, carne is beef. That's what I'm saying. So if the first chili had no beef in it, it was just beans, just regular chili. Make me some chili like when they used to like on the trail, when a trail boss or back in the cowboy days, they were making chili. It was just a way to cook the beans in a different way so they didn't just taste like beans. Spice them up a little bit. And then they added beef to it, and it was chili con carne. Now, is that not true? We would add macaroni and call it spaghetti red. Yes, well, I love chili mac with some raw onions thrown in there, and then some sour cream maybe, and some cheese and stuff. And a chili is a pepper too. Yes, no, but I'm saying when they would make chili, when they call it chili, it was just beans. I don't know. You think it's like a Mesoamerican Indian? Yeah, I think that's Incans. Yeah, beans. That's what I think. It was just beans originally. It wasn't beef. Beans or corn. Yeah, that's what was in there. It was like a spice up the. I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's why they call it chili con carne, chili with beef. So I think it's always supposed to have beans in it. So according to the feds, the gang members commit various crimes. The defendants were charged with 66 counts, including racketeering, conspiracy to operate a illegal gambling business, violent crimes in aid of racketeering, trafficking narcotics such as fentanyl, methamphetamine, heroin, and cocaine, and using firearms during crimes of violence. No wonder your gallbladder went bad, Jim. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know. Well, here, if you're ever in Chicago, okay, if you're ever in Chicago area, there's this place called Lindy's Gertie's. Gertie's Ice Cream, Lindy's Chili's. Lindy's Chili. It's a place that they sell chili and ice cream, pretty much. It's an ice cream place that sells chili. Their chili, you get there, they'll make it. But I'll tell you right now, don't ever order chili mac there because they rip you off, because they charge you basically for all the macaroni and they probably put any chili on it. You have them separated. All right? Separate it. And that way you get the thing of chili and you get the mac and stuff to make it separate. But it was called Lindy's Gertie's. Their ice cream was Gertie's ice cream. It used to be great. They have these big glass bowls with hot fudge sundaes or banana splits, and you eat them. You have a nice bowl of chili. Ooh, buddy. You have the chili. It's nice, hot, and spicy. Heats you up, and then you have the ice cream. And they were always like right by movie theaters. Like you have a movie theater, so then after the movie, you could go have your ice cream or whatever, chili. But yeah, if you're ever around that Chicagoland area and you get a Lindy's chili, man, it's good. Trank is the drug that's taking out Philly. Tony says, no, chili original just has meat. They added beans to make it go further. Okay. They always say chili with beans. That tells you everything. Well, that's in America. I'm not talking about Dixon's Chili in Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking questions here. You just Googled it. Original chili had no beans. It's a common myth. Okay. All right. Check out a pita kebab. Good spot. Also go to Gulliver's and get a canned pizza. Okay. Yeah. So gang members who murder, extort, kidnap, and traffic drugs and firearms are a menace to our communities and our way of life, said First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asele. Today's arrests highlight the continued cooperation between federal and local law enforcement against violent felons and our unyielding determination to crack down on organized crimes in our prisons and our streets. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, hold on 1 second. 1 second. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Wow. Sorry about that. Buy good food from Amos Miller's Amish Farm. I would love to buy stuff from an Amish farm, but don't you have to be within like driving distance away? You can't like ship that stuff because it's like, you know what I mean? It's got to be like, it's never not frozen. It's got to be refrigerated only, and so you got to have refrigerated trucks and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just something in my head. I'd love to do that, but there's no Amish farms around where I'm at. So 25 members and associates of the Mexican Mafia prison gang were arrested today on 3 federal indictments. They do ship it? Wow. Okay. We used to sell original Coney Island dogs at the restaurant I ran. No beans and yummers. Okay. The Incans forced GMO on the world. You have to become a member, but you think they ship? Okay. High fructose corn syrup, GMO seeds, Roundup, and Chevy Chase food additives. Yeah, I don't like. Honestly, I don't drink a lot of soda. All right, but if I am going to have oh, that was a joke. Okay, if I am going to have a soda, I like to have the Mexican Coke because It's made with sugar, real cane sugar, supposedly. I don't know. And he does ship. Okay, I'm gonna have to check him out. Maybe I'll order some stuff from him. The Amish in Eastern PA always sold their produce to the public back in the early 80s. Well, they're getting cracked down on, Red Alert. That's why Barnes, that's the one thing I'll give Barnes credit for, the work that he's done for Amos Miller, the fight he did for that guy. It was commendable. And I give him credit for that. Like, and that's not, I should say that's the one thing I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit for that. Like, what he did was good. That was a good thing. He helped those people. That was good. Clean eating. Well, that's the thing. You see, Pepsi now has cane sugar in some of their products. Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing, though. From what there's a whole video where these guys break it down and they show you what they're doing. They actually put something else in there with it, like to make the sugars not break down. I stopped drinking Coca-Cola. I live in Vegas, so I drink a lot of water. I cannot drink soda to save my life down. I can just taste nothing but sugar. It's disgusting to me. Yeah. Yeah. She goes, then Barnes went nuts. I know. I mean, hey, low watermark, crack. You're going to have crack? So the defendants arrested this morning were Jaime Alvarado, a.k.a. Junior, and Brian Barbas. So this guy had two aliases, Junior and Brian Barbas, and Karina Cessna, also of Lake Elsinore, and Mario Flores, a.k.a. Happy. Senior gang members already in state custody are expected to make their initial appearance and be arraigned. So some of these people, yes, the acids in the sodas will break down in sugar to both sucrose and fructose, less fructose, the high fructose version. Yeah, that's something about that. Something about the acids did something and changed things. And so, like, they were doing testing, and like the longer the soda is not stored, is not kept cold. Like if it gets too hot, like it creates, like, the acid eats all the sugar and converts it from one to the other. And so that's why sometimes if you have a soda, it's like, man, the soda tastes bitter. That's what they were getting me at. So, but seriously, if a person gives their kid cola now, with all we know, it really pisses you off. Oh yeah, kids should not be drinking soda at all. There's no reason. None. Zero. Zip. No reason. The high fructose breaks down. I believe even even if I'm not mistaken, even if it's cane sugar, it does some kind of change. It does something. Pay a one-time lifetime membership fee of $30, then you can order and they will ship, but you have to live outside of PA. Oh, well, that's not a problem. Low watermark. Pat Hacker wants you to tell me to make the 100 that you gave me last night on tonight's show so we can get Bella. They asked about it, and I said that you purposely sent that to me last night as a joke on Joe. And I said, if Low Watermark wants me to put it towards tonight, I would, but he would have to tell me that. So you tell me, Low Watermark, you want me to put it towards tonight? I will. Stay away from hydrated oil. Some chemical bonds cannot be broken. Yeah, I think the cane sugar breaks down too. I think it's into glucose or something like that. All right. Okay, so Luis Cardenas, a.k.a. Pops, Gangster, and Tio, an inmate at the Ironwood State Prison, Jose Antonio Ochoa Madrigal, a.k.a. Sparky of Santa Ana, who is incarcerated in the Orange County Jail. Yeah, I don't drink anymore. I don't drink any less. I love Bella. I love Bella too. Bella, please. Bella, please. I can pop Bella on for a few minutes, I guess. I can just pop her on there. There she is. There's Bella. Oh, wait, it's not Bella. Where's she at? The Mexican Mafia, aka La M, which I don't know if you ever seen the like. There was two good movies, American Me, and there was another one called Blood In, Blood Out, which covers the Mexican Mafia and all this stuff. It's very, very good, very good movies. You should check them out if you haven't seen them. Is a U.S.-based prison gang that has immense control over Hispanics, street gangs in Southern California, directing illegal activities from prisons and collecting a portion of the proceeds from drug trafficking. Yes, yeah, American Me, and then is a good one, and then there's also Blood In, Blood Out. Is a good one. It has another name. Blood In, Blood Out, something else. It's got two names. I'm not sure. Thank you for the bonus videos, Jim. Oh, you saw those? Yeah, those the ones of the dog and cat. Yeah, I put those there for you guys. So they direct illegal activities from the prisons and they collect a portion of the stuff, and then I wanted to give you something. I signed up for your membership and they gave me a free 7-day trial. I'm really enjoying the chat and your show. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means with that right there, that means we're $93 away from adding an hour to the show and 43 away from Bellavision. I know it sounds silly because Bella's right there, but at some point, salsa is okay. Yeah, thanks, Jim. The Charlie and Kittens films were some of your best. Well, I'm glad you like it. You didn't know those movies were about the Mexican Mafia? Yeah, they were about, well, American Me was La M, which is the Mexican Mafia. And then the other one was La Onda, but it's the same thing. They're about the Mexican Mafia. I believe, I'm pretty sure that they were both kind of, well, I think Blood In, Blood Out is actually more accurate to what really happened when they formed, but I'm not, I don't want to speak out of school. They're very active in Chicago too. Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. Well, that's because the cartels are pretty much controlling them. So you got like the Kings and the 2-6 and Spanish Disciples and stuff like that. They're all interconnected. Even though they're different factions, they're still interconnected with the cartels. The case main indictment charges 40 defendants with a series of felonies, including racketeering, conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, violent crimes, fentanyl, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, gun charges. According to the indictment from June 2024 to April 2026, they oversaw the Cardenas oversaw the criminal activities in Orange County and within Orange County jail and prison facilities, and all these other people held high-ranking positions. Your grandma used to only use rendered bacon fat. Yeah, old school. Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now. You have a Mexican Mafia presence in your area, scary crap. Yeah, they don't play. But bacon fat, if you want to make, like, if you're gonna saute like onions or green peppers, stuff like that, bacon fat, way to go, man. Woo, buddy. If you're gonna fry a pork chop, use bacon fat. Fry the pork chop instead of oil or anything like that. Amazing. Save all the fat. Yeah. And it says from his prison cell, he used an encrypted messaging app on a contraband cell phone to direct the operation in the areas around Orange County. Cardenas directed others to kidnap and assault people in bad standing with him, and Alvarado, Cessna, and others carried out his directions. The gang also sold narcotics, fentanyl, heroin, methamphetamine, cocaine via slap houses, legal gambling houses. I never heard of a slap. I heard of a trap house, never a slap house. Pancakes and bacon fat. That sounds good. It ran illegal gambling with commercial strip malls and private residences. The gang collected extortionate taxes and provided security, including use of violence to protect the illegal gambling businesses. Fresh tallow, maybe. Well, fresh tallow is great. Like, I make my own tallow when I'll boil bones and stuff, and the fat from like a standing rib roast. Take the bones and all the fat and all the trim off before you make. I'll cut it and use it to make like ribeyes, to cut my own ribeyes, or to cut. And then if I slice it real thin, I make this thing called roll steak, where you fry that with onions But you take the bones and you first take the bones and everything and you put them on the grill or smoker and you grill them, smoke them, whatever, brown them up. Then you boil them until it just boils down to nothing. And then you take the top off and it's the fat and the white, solid white that looks like, I don't know, ice cream almost or like frosting. And it's pure white. And that stuff is great for frying, like for making French fries in or anything like that. Just you're rendering down your tallow from the rib roast tallow cap as we speak. Eggs for my burger. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's some good stuff right there. All right. Why is there no video about this? This doesn't make no sense. So here's all the people, Gangsters Paradise, that got arrested. A whole lot of people. I was hoping there would be a video for this. Some black guy taught you how to make the pancakes with the crispy edges. And, well, like if you want pancakes with really crispy edges, you got to have this is the only way I've been able to do it is your pancake batter has to be really thin, almost like a crepe batter. It has to be extra thin. You know, like very almost like the consistency of paint almost. Not like normal pancake batter. You want it to be like thicker, thicker than gravy. But like, you know, if you get it real thin, you got a super hot pan, you'll get those crispy edges around the pancakes. Federal authorities dealt a significant blow to the organized crime in Orange County, arresting 37 members of the Mexican mafia. According to prosecutors, the group's purported activities span a violent spectrum of criminality, including murder, kidnapping, and extortion. The stuff we're talking off the streets is very dangerous. These guys have no regard for human life. Founded in California juvenile correction facility in the 1950s. All right. Now, what movie? Like, if you remember too, if you also remember, like in both American Me and Blood In Blood Out, there's a white guy in both of them who gets his leg like chopped off, and then that guy basically betrays the Mexican guy who's the leader. It happens to what's his face in what's his name? Anyway, into both the movies. But so this is like, I guess both those movies are actually really related to this because it was during the 50s that both of those guys ended up in a juvenile detention facility. So that those movies must be kind of like historically accurate. According to a recent indictment, one incarcerated leader utilized contraband cell phone devices to orchestrate the organization's activities from June 24 to April 26. The individual allegedly direct various street gangs carried out and gambling. Same thing. They target the Mexican mafia leaders in pre-dawn raids. Wow. Okay. Well, I think we talked about this enough, really. So they seized 25 firearms, tens of thousands of dollars in cash, 4 kilos of fentanyl, 120 pounds of methamphetamines, 3 kilos of cocaine, 2 pounds of heroin, and 50,000 or 5,000 fentanyl pills. Wow, that's a lot of pills. I saw the tallow for men ad yesterday, the Fountain of Youth. Which one is Edward James Olmos? Edward James Olmos, okay, was playing the leader that was assassinated by their own people because of something they wanted to do something else. Like in American Me, it wasn't for the exact same reason as it was in Blood In Blood Out, but both of them, the guy with the hurt leg, like what's his name? What's his name? The one white guy that's in a bunch of stuff. He was in a the white guy. He was in a Steven Seagal movie. He played a guy named Richie. I can't remember Richie something or other. But anyway, I can't think of his name. It's driving me nuts. But he he plays the guy who loses a leg in American Me, and then in Blood In, Blood Out, it's a different guy, and it's kind of like anyway. So, but they both anyway. We need real prisons. Ted Bundy got his wife pregnant while incarcerated. It would be nice if prison were run like prisons. Yeah. And the mafia served as a go-between between the drug cartels and so-called narco super gangs that distribute the cartel's products in California, including the 18th Street and MS-13. The 13 in gang's name identifies its tie to the Mexican mafia, with the letter M represents the 13th letter in the alphabet. Smaller gangs, including Puente 13, Venice 13, and Valencia 13, also deal in drugs at the behest of shot callers in the Mexican mafia. The mafia derives its power from its connections to the cartels and control over the prison system. They use conjugal visits and phone calls as conduits to issue the orders. Conjugal visits? Yeah, I wonder. Here's a question. I keep seeing advertisements, Venice 13. I keep seeing advertisements for a place called Planet 13 that sells, it's a medical marijuana place. Planet 13. Are they associated with the Mexican mafia because it's Planet 13? Now it's making me wonder. It's making me wonder. Federal authorities targeted Puente 13 members in a series of arrests, as well as 18th Street gang members. Okay. All right, well, that's that. All righty. On to this last story that was in the headline, the last headliner. How about them Raiders? Are the Raiders doing good, Kim? I don't follow football. You can grow your own weed in Colorado, Ohio. Yeah. Well, they just did something too. Trump just did something. The DOJ just reclassified medical marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. So that's good, right? So it means it's the same as any other prescription drug, I think. So U.S. negotiators are heading back to see the Pakistanis for more talks with Iran. Wow. Let's see what Hexeth has to say.
And dangerous mission, a gift to the world, historic, courtesy of a bold and historic president. That mission continues today in this new phase as Iran has an important choice, a chance to make a deal, a good deal, a wise deal. As part of that effort, the United States has imposed an ironclad blockade that grows more powerful by the day. From the Gulf of Oman to the open oceans, our Navy is enforcing this blockade without hesitation or apology. Now, as usual, there's a lot of false information out there. I'll say this, every ship that the U.S. believes meets our criteria, either Iranian ships or to and from Iranian ports, has been turned around. As of this morning, 34 total. Non-Iranian vessels are allowed to transit, and many have, including overnight. Not only is the blockade growing, in fact, a second aircraft carrier will join the blockade in just a few days, but this growing blockade is also gone global. Just this week, we seized 2 Iranian dark fleet ships in the Indo-Pacific region that had left Iranian ports before the blockade went into effect. They thought they'd made it out just in time. They did not. President Trump said it again yesterday. We have all the time in the world. And we're not anxious for a deal. And I hear him say it every day in private as well. Iran knows that they still have an open window to choose wisely. As we said previously, choose wisely at the negotiating table. All they have to do is abandon a nuclear weapon in meaningful and verifiable ways, or instead they can watch their regime's fragile economic state collapse under the unrelenting pressure of American power. A blockade as long as it takes, whatever President Trump decides. Because the bottom line remains the bottom line. Iran will never get a nuclear bomb.
Hope
the
not.
choice is theirs, but with this blockade, the clock is not on their side. Moreover, President Trump has authorized the United States Navy to destroy any Iranian fast boats that attempt to put mines in the water or disrupt passage through the Strait of Hormuz, to shoot and kill. Our command.
That's what I was asking the other night. People remember when I said, why are these ships able to just come out and start shooting at boats and do this stuff? We should have planes flying, drones, something flying all the time. And if any of these small boats come out and try to harass a ship, sink it. That's it. Sink the boat. I mean, you can't let this happen. It's basically piracy. You can barely hear it. Okay, I'm sorry. I turned it up pretty loud. What is going on?
Blockade as long as it takes, whatever President Trump decides. Because the bottom line remains the bottom line. Iran will never get a nuclear bomb. The choice is theirs, but with this blockade, the clock is not on their side. Moreover, President Trump has authorized the United States Navy to destroy any Iranian fast boats that attempt to put mines in the water or disrupt passage through the Strait of Hormuz, to shoot and kill. Our commanders have clear rules of engagement. If Iran is putting mines in the water or otherwise threatening American commercial shipping or American forces, we will shoot to destroy. No hesitation,
Yeah.
Just like the drug boats in the Caribbean. It's also worth saying, this should not be America's fight alone. We barely use the Strait of Hormuz as a country. Our energy doesn't flow through there, and we have plenty of energy.
Wait, that guy just asked if he's on a power trip. What the hell? Why is that so loud? So, what the hell kind of question is that, you jerks? So negotiators are going back. Why can't I? Why won't it let me block the ad? What is going on here? All time. All right, so we're hopeful to be a productive conversation and move the ball forward to a deal. What? Several top aides. Oh, why is this doing this? I can't get to the damn part of the story. All right. So it says, so Jared Kushner and them will travel to Pakistan this weekend for additional peace talks with Iran. Why is it doing this to me? Why is it? What the hell? What is going on? I'm losing my mind. It's immediately doing it to this. It won't let me go up. All right. All right. The Iranians reached out and the president's called them to do and ask for in-person conversations. Like watching your grandma. It's getting bad, isn't it? It's terrible. Hey, OTR Smokehouse. Great to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. We're hopeful it'll be a productive conversation. Well, I mean, if it's not, they're just stringing us along. That's what I'm worried about. They just keep stringing us along and stringing us along. And, Yeah. But, it says that Vance is willing to drop everything and make his way over there if needed. Like, I don't know, man. I'll be worried. I'd be worried that Vance running over there, this could be a way to try and, I don't know, do something nefarious. During the first rounds, Vance attended with Bagher Galbaf, the Speaker of Iran's parliament. Galbaf's not expected to attend this weekend's talks, because they're talking about maybe there's been different people took over. So the Iranian delegation, led by Foreign Minister Abbas Aragachi, is arrived late Friday in Islam is bad. Yeah, to Vance, I'd be worried about something happening to him. Like they might be trying to get him over there because it's not. I don't know. And then it's saying the Iranian side has not publicly confirmed it would participate with the talks. Like, well, what the fuck would they tell us to go over there for if they're not going to participate? So they're saying that the Iranian foreign minister won't hold any negotiations with the Trump regime in Islam is bad with the Pakistanis. And the meeting is a response to General Ashem Minur's trip to Tehran, and they've been informed that no negotiations with the Americans are planned during this visit. Iran officials are also expected to stop in Oman and Russia after stopping in Pakistanis. Much of the downtown Islamabad has been closed to facilitate the high-level talks. Trump extended what was supposed to be a 2-week ceasefire. And then if they don't want to make a deal, and I'll finish up military with the other 25% of the targets, he said. I mean, I don't know how there's still targets left to hit. I thought they got them all. Wall Street Journal basically just has the same story. It just says that Witkoff and Kushner are headed back there for talks with the Iranians, but everyone's saying the Iranians aren't going to be a part of the talk. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is what the Iranians. It says the Iranian delegation is heading to Pakistan as the ceasefire talks hang in the balance, but does that mean, senior Iranian leadership will come to Pakistan Friday or Saturday? The Iranian foreign minister will lead a small delegation to Islamabad. It was not immediately clear whether the trip indicates a second round or it's a discussion during the Iran-Pakistan meeting. So Pakistan government officials expressed optimism. He's letting them sink their economy. TikTok their economy is having major problems. They're don't know how long they'll be. Same thing with China. So following important discussions with the Pakistani mediation team, a second round of Islamabad peace talks between the United States and Iran is expected. The news comes after senior Pakistani leaders held official phone calls with their Iranian counterparts. What's China got left? 10 days of oil. That's a big country, and they don't have Venezuela anymore. I know their oil has been cut by like 60%, 60% of their oil coming in has been cut. That they're operating at that. So I don't know. It's been quite a while. Because when Venezuela got taken out, then it was like they were shifting to other places. So I don't know. I don't know how many. I don't think nobody. I mean, maybe our government knows because they got satellites and they're watching. They know where all the storage tanks and stuff like that are, or whatever. But I don't know. China ain't gonna tell you. Mark and Eric from Australia, I think, are implying Iran officials were not showing up. Oh, from America's Untold Stories, possibly stalling for incoming military shipment from China. Don't quote me on that. Well, that's what I think. Is going on too. They're going to try to they're going to try to stall as much as they can, get as much as they can. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're notorious for it. The U.S. has consistently expressed openness to talk as Iran has wavered in its willingness to come for a second round. The U.S. logistical and security team is already present in Islamabad to support the negotiating process. Iran is expected to land at 10:30 p.m. The Iranian delegation will make 2 stops after Islamabad, one in Oman and the other in Russia. Okay. The White House did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Yes. World War II, Pearl Harbor and Stalingrad were all about the Earl. That's right. All about the Earl. All about the Earls. Earls, Earls, Earls. Ba, 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 da, da, da. And then this just says the foreign ministers heading to Islamabad raising optimism for talks. So who knows? Trump plans to send Steve Witkoff and Kushner to Islamabad for talks with Aragachi. Iran knows they still have an open window to choose wisely. Trump needs to get in that high IQ brain. You didn't negotiate with fucking terrorists, i.e., all Middle East country. Yeah. Yep. And this onto this next story, which I saw this, and I was very upset when I saw this. I think you got your ticker wrong. It says 43 away from Bella, and we get Bella. I had Bella up there for a little too long. I was giving everybody a little Bella. So yes, we are 43 away from Bella. Thanks for reminding me, OTR, that I had her up there way too long. That's why we took out the top layers. Yeah. That's just a time floating around on Telegram, but honestly, they're getting it from now. Venezuela is a no-go, and now Iran. Yeah. Well, they're probably getting some from Russia, but there's only so much they can take in from Russia. So we'll see. So, yeah, so the DOJ drops its criminal investigation into the federal chair, Powell. Can they tell if a mod is censoring a chatter? It should show up for me. Let me look. I don't see anything. I do not see any moderation activity happening. It should show me. It would show me when I'm looking at the chat, it would show me if someone was, it would show me it would say like message erased. It would say something. So. I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, I don't see anybody's comment been erased by anybody. Yeah. Do you remember those 2 sailors that consistently fought over olive oil? Yeah. It could be YouTube. YouTube, yeah, mods. Most of these mods are going to censor. The YouTube does, like, I have it happen to me all the time. I'll be trying to chat on channels, and I'm like, why isn't nobody answering me? And then you have to, what you want to do is if you're typing something, you don't think anybody's seeing it, and you don't think I'm seeing it, type it. All right, send it, and then switch your chat type from either live chat to top chat, go back and forth. And if what you say disappears, that means YouTube is censoring it. Algorithms censors are working overtime today. Yeah, mods here are pretty chill. Yes, everybody's chill here. No, I don't censor. Yeah, nobody censors anything. Yeah, it's YouTube. But that's the only way, like, you got to check it is you type it in, send it, and then immediately switch your chat type. And if it disappears, that means YouTube censored it. Yeah. The Justice Department on Friday dropped its criminal investigation into Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. Yeah. Tickle the plus sign. There you go. Tickle the plussy. Plussy. This clears the way for Trump's Fed chair nominee, Kevin Warsh, to be confirmed. I think mods can see something that's been timed out. Well, yeah, if there was something that was timed out by a modder, I would see it, or any other mod could see it, and it will tell us who did it. You understand? So if it was a mod, if it was a manual mod action by a mod in chat or me, everyone would see it in the chat. Not everyone who is a mod or has mod powers would see it in the chat, and they would know about it. And they would know what was said, and you could see what was said, because it'll tell us this person's been timed out, this person's been blocked, hidden. It will tell us whatever. Nobody is hidden from my chat. Nobody's blocked from my chat as far as I know, not by me anyway, not by any of my mods. I could pull up and show you, and there's no blocked people. Senator Tom Tillis, the Rhino, vowed to block Trump's Fed chair confirmation until the Justice Department dropped its investigation into Powell. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro made the announcement on Friday morning. She said, "This morning, the Inspector General for the Federal Reserve has been asked to scrutinize the building cost overruns. I just exit the chat and then return to see if my comments were actually posted." Yeah, you could do that too. You could exit the chat and then come back in, refresh the page, stuff like that. Yeah. Tony goes, "I'm going to go out in the front room. I built 2 PCs. I'll be back in a minute on my other PC." Okay. Dropping the investigation to get a senator's vote is disgusting. Yeah, it's disgusting. Totally disgusting and wrong. Like, that's our money. That's our money. Where's our money? What are they spending our money on? So they're going to, there's billions of dollars of cost overruns. The Attorney General has the authority to hold the Federal Reserve accountable to American taxpayers. I expect a comprehensive report in short order, and I'm confident the outcome will assist in resolving once and for all the questions that led this office to issue subpoenas. Accordingly, I have directed my office to close our investigation as the Inspector General undertakes this inquiry. Note well, however, that I will not hesitate to restart a criminal investigation should the facts warrant doing so. It'd be nice to have heard her say it, though. So Powell's under fire for costs of the renovations of the Fed's D.C. headquarters. The cost ballooned from $1.9 billion to $2.5 billion. Okay, here's the thing. You could build a whole brand new fucking humongous skyrise building for way less than $1 billion. What are they doing here? What is going on? This is crazy. Rumble needs to work on their left drop-down box, showing me people live who ended their shows hours ago and not showing who's actually live. Yeah. Rumble delays obvious. Rumble, you have to refresh your page to get it to appear any new stuff at all, and sometimes that doesn't even work. Yeah, who does this guy think he is? Elon? Right? Not Elon Musk, but Elon Omar. Powell has asked the Central Bank Inspector General to conduct an additional review of the ongoing renovation. Previously reported last month, some Senate lawmakers grilled Powell over what they depicted as lavish upgrades to its D.C. headquarters at Powell's semi-annual monetary policy hearing. Yeah, they're stealing from Americans. That's right. America. The Fed renovation project was approved by its board in 2017 and originally cost $1.9 billion. Construction began in 2021 and cost swelled to $2.5 billion because of unforeseen conditions. More asbestos than anticipated, toxic contamination in the soil. What? And a higher than expected water table. Wait a minute. It's just a renovation. What are they talking about? It's an existing building. They're just renovating. What are they doing in the soil? What are they doing with the water table? What are they talking about? This don't make any sense. Are they building a bunker? Are they building a fucking bunker? Is that what they're doing? They're building a fucking bunker. They're building a fucking bunker at the Fed. That's why they got a water table problem. That's why the contamination of soil. They're building a fucking bunker. They're digging. There should already be a basement in there, though. That's what I'm saying. They're digging. They're doing digging. And it's already a huge building. So why would you be digging in an already huge building? unforeseen conditions where they wanted more money. He worked on Abraham Lincoln at the Bremerton shipyards, and I personally saw the invoices and the $10,000 hammock, a $20,000 toilet seat. Oh, okay. So last month, Judge Boasberg, an Obama appointee, quashed the Justice Department subpoenas, which he had no legal right to do. They should have appealed it. Why didn't you appeal that? I'll pull up a photo of the Fed building. All right. Okay. What the fuck is going on here? What is happening here? So this is the Federal Reserve building. This is the Federal Reserve building, all right? Cheaper to ask Zuckerberg for rental space as bunker. Like, this is not even a high-rise building. This isn't like, 30 stories. This is just a big office building. So to spend $2 billion on this, it just seems insane. Seems insane to me. Yeah, it's just insane that it looks like this. I mean, and what are they doing? So they're building a bunker or something under. That's what they're digging. Why would they be what are they doing? They're just renovating the existing building. They're not adding a new building or anything like that. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. They're stealing. Yeah, he's robbing us blind. Yeah, it's crazy. Electrician. Yeah. Bremerton. Okay. So Boasberg blasted Trump and the Attorney General Pirro for saying the subpoenas were issued improperly because the president was pressuring power to lower interest rates. So I guess they could steal us because as long as they keep the interest rates where they're at, then they can rob us. All right. All right, on to this story. It says U.S. imposes sanctions on China-based oil refinery and dozens of firms and tankers accused of shipping Iranian oil. Now, I heard it was up to 40 things they put these things on. Guess why you're late? I don't know, because the delay was obvious. Okay, that's the. Oh my God, this is some kind of scam. That's your story. That's the fucking story. Trump administration is placing economic sanctions on a major China-based oil refinery and roughly 40 shipping companies. The move was announced Friday and first reported to the AP. Makes good on Trump's threat to impose secondary sanctions on companies and countries that do business with Iran. It's also part of his Republican administration's overall ramped-up campaign to cut off Iran's key source of revenue, its oil exports. We being bamboozled? I think so. New Scum is a frickin' joker and watched out for the elections. He's up to something. Yeah. Now, okay, Kimberly, let me ask you a question. Are you a fan of the Oakland Raiders, the LA Raiders, or was the Raiders ever in LA? It was the Oakland Raiders, right? And then now they're the Las Vegas Raiders, right? They're in Vegas. What were they? Were they somewhere else before that? Hey, thanks for being back. So, concurrently, the U.S. this month imposed a physical blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. Just the Raiders? Well, which ones? That's what I'm saying. Is it so no matter where they are, you're a fan of them no matter where they are? Is that it? YouTube stopped all my chats for 24 hours when I tried to comment. All it said was restricted from comments. What? That doesn't make any sense. Oakland Raiders with Kenny Stabler, they had to dissolve the team because no one could beat them. Yeah. Okay. Fire all Raiders. Immigration Raiders, aka ICE has my vote. All right. Yeah. Like wasn't the Raiders, what was his name? Lou Alzado? Lyle Alzado, right? Lyle Alzado. Right. He was the guy, he was like one of their, man, he was good. Sin City, final stop. Okay. The sanctions cut off companies from U.S. financial systems and penalize anybody who does business with them. Come just a few weeks before President Trump and Xi Jinping are due to meet in China. Included in Friday's sanctions is Hengli Petrochemical Facility in the port city of Dalian. Yes, he was roided up and it killed him. Yes, it did. He was the first big name person that you heard of that died of steroid abuse. Oakland Raiders for Seahawks in the Kingdom. Seattle, loud AF. Yes, something wrong. Something wrong. Something wrong. Xi Jinping. Beijing. Included in Friday's sanctions is, yes. They process capacity of roughly 400,000 barrels of crude oil per day, making it the largest independent refinery in China. Treasury Department says Hengli has received Iranian crude shipments since 2023 and has generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue for the Iranian military. The advocacy group United Against Nuclear Iran said in February that Hengli is one of dozens of Chinese purchasers of Iranian oil. Well, Anne, thank you, Anne. Anne just paid $25 on the old Cash or Appster for Bellavision. So we have Bellavision. Wow. Thank you so much. That means we are now $68 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. 68 away from the goal now, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Anne. China is the biggest buyer of Iranian oil, importing 80% to 90% of Iranian oil before the U.S. war. So, 80 to 90% of Iranian oil went to China before. So, this is a problem. Yes. Bellavision. It often has its origin obscured, but it arises in China as oil from countries such as Malaysia. Small refineries known as teapot refineries because they are typically the buyers of the Iranian oil. Yes, thank you for Bella. Thank you. Iran previously said it demands for ending the war include lifting the sanctions. Thank you, Kelly. Oh, I was supposed to do that. We already have Bella. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly51 says, here's help for the extra hour. Thank you so much, Kelly. That means we are now just $48 away. That means we're more than halfway there, folks. We're 48 away from adding an additional hour to the show. The first additional hour could be of many. Thank you so much. That's right. Go, Kelly. Made on the inside to be worn on the outside. What are we talking about? Oh, your blue jeans. Okay, never mind. Prison blues. All right, now I get it. So earlier this month, Besant's department sent letters to financial institutions in China, Hong Kong, UAE, Oman, and they're threatening to levy secondary sanctions for doing business with Iran and accusing those countries of allowing Iranian illicit activities to flow through their financial institutions. Besant said during a White House press briefing on April 15th that the administration has told countries that if you're buying Iranian oil, that if Iranian money is sitting in your banks, we are now willing to apply secondary sanctions, which is a very stern measure. Yes, perfect timing. I was just missing Bella. Yeah, the 14-ounce denim, like what Levi's used to be. I don't know what material, what ounce of material the dungarees we used to have in the Navy that we would wear, the dungarees. But those things lasted a long time, and they were washed a lot. Like, you're technically not supposed to wash your blue jeans a lot, but dungarees were washed like daily. They lasted. Those things did not wear out fast for being washed every day. But thin. Yeah, they were very thin. But you remember, Snarf, too, the ones that were treated, the fire retardant ones that were treated with the fire retardant chemicals. You weren't supposed to wash them because they were, we were supposed to wear them in a fire, and they had like that. They smelled like gasoline. It was weird. I think, I don't know, it was creosol or you banged a summer earner, a Bangor summer earner. What's up, Karen? Oh, thanks for coming back. Yeah, the sanctions have come as the global energy trade is in turmoil around the Persian Gulf, and it chokes off all the natural gas and oil shipments and causing prices to soar. Treasury has tried to quell the impact by issuing temporary sanctions waivers for Russian oil and a one-time waiver on Iranian oil already at sea. The AP's making efforts to contact the Chinese officials for comments on the sanctions. China has disagreed with previous U.S. sanctions, but its major companies and banks still comply with U.S. sanctions because they are more exposed to the U.S.-dominated financial system. Yeah, dungarees got more softer and more comfy. Yeah, the more you wash them, yeah. After U.S. earlier this month sanctioned a Chinese refinery accused of buying Iranian oil, Li Yongpengdu, spokesman for China embassy in Washington, said the use of sanctions undermines international trade orders and rules and disrupts the normal economic and trade exchanges and infringes upon the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese companies and individuals. This is by Fatema Hussaini. Okay. And now we're on to the next story, which you guys heard about the guy who got convicted, or got arrested. I'm sorry, he got arrested for placing bets on like Polymarket or something about the raid that they were going to capture Maduro. So they arrested him. So, but Anna Paulina Luna demands a full pardon for a U.S. Special Forces hero prosecuted by the DOJ for insider trading on the Maduro raid. It skewed justice while Congress members illegally profit every single day. Every single day. She's demanding a full pardon for U.S. Special Forces soldier now facing decades in prison after allegedly profiting from classified information tied to the takedown of Venezuelan strongman Nicolás Maduro. The soldier, identified as Gannon Ken Van Dyke, was indicted by the Department of Justice on Thursday. This is the guy. Multiple officials tell CBS News that Army Master Sergeant Gannon Van Dyke was a communications specialist supporting Joint Operations Command, the unit that oversees Tier 1 special mission units such as Delta Force and SEAL Team 6. Here comes Tony with another 2. He says, just because I like you. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you. That means we are now just $46 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much, everybody who's been so generous tonight. Greatly appreciated. I get why she wants this, but also she has to realize he had access to sensitive information that could have been revealed. Yes, but so does Congress all the time, and they do bets like this all the time on it and gamble. Here's the thing, too, though, his handsome, that I want to just call out. Like, I think if anything, he should be punished by the military, UCMJ, that because he did this in the military, UCMJ. That's where he should be punished. I don't understand how you could say that it's insider trading when Poly Market is not regulated by the SEC. It's not regulated by the laws that that govern insider trading. It's just not, just like gambling. Yeah, so he bet on winning. Yeah, he bet on winning, and so they're taking him away. So, like, if like, I just don't see how this is possible, what they're doing. I don't. I think this is the way overreach. According to the DOJ, Van Dyke, an active-duty Army soldier stationed at Fort Bragg, participated in the planning and execution of a covert mission dubbed Operation Absolute Resolve, which resulted in the capture of Maduro earlier this year. Prosecutors allege that Van Dyke uses access to classified intelligence to place wagers on the prediction platform Poly Market, ultimately netting approximately $409,000 in profits. Here's the thing, too. When did he make the wagers? When did he make the wagers? When he made the wagers, was it still possible for the president to not authorize it? Like, just because they're planning something doesn't mean they're actually going to do it. The president can always say no, and then he would have lost the money. Yeah, it should be a military charge. Yeah, it should be a military charge, but it should only matter if he made, in all honesty, if he made all these bets prior to the go-ahead being given to do the raid, like just when they were planning, because they plan stuff all the time that they never do. DOJ reinstated firing squads. I thought the DOJ was civilian. The DOJ is Department of Justice, so that they administer. Department of Justice oversees the Bureau of Prisons, which handles executions. So they would decide what type of execution it would be. Richard Tatership, what's up? Dropping in to give a quick like and hello, fellow patriots. Can't stick around tonight. Well, thanks for being here, Richard. Though I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it sounds like he was making the bets as they were planning and setting it in motion. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But before the order was given, right? So if it's before they gave the order to go, like if they're like, okay, we're going to go tomorrow. If they told these guys tomorrow we're going at tomorrow or tonight we're going at this time, and he makes the bets then after he has that information, I think that's a little more egregious, because that means the decision was made and his bets could have caused a problem. His bets happening, if they happened days or weeks before the actual raid, just while they were planning it, he was still risking, he just had more information other people had. He didn't have, like, it wasn't a sure thing. That's all I'm getting at. Maybe he risked lives. Imagine that it's gone bad for those soldiers. He should be court-martialed. But yeah, he should be court-martialed. He should be prosecuted. That's what I'm saying, is he should be prosecuted in military court. Not in the Southern District of New York. You were in the military. How often they change plans unless something drastic changed? Well, no, that's the thing, though. No, if they were just, when they're planning something, there's a difference between they're planning something before they get the go-ahead. Because things get called off all the time after they get the go-ahead. They get recalled and stuff like that. I'm just saying. So this involved a soldier who allegedly took advantage of his position to profit. DOJ announced the arrest of a U.S. Special Forces soldier who took part in a raid. But it should be handled. This should all be handled in the military. Should be handling this. It should not be being handled by U.S. Attorney's Office. That's all. That's my main point. So it's alleged that around December 26th, Van Dyke created a polymarket account, funded it, and began trading on Maduro and Venezuela-related markets. In total, Van Dyke made approximately 13 bets from December 27th through the evening of January 2nd. Those bets all took the yes position on U.S. forces in Venezuela by January 31st, 2026. Maduro out by January 31st. Will the U.S. invade by January 31st? Okay. Or Trump invokes war powers. Van Dyke bet a total of approximately $33,000 on those outcomes while in possession of classified and non-public information. Yes, Luna is right, though. Congressman should be charged as the same, but Mark said Congress become Congress and gamble. Yeah. Yeah, remember the old saying, hurry up and wait. Yeah. Like, that's the thing, too. Like, he was taking these bets on it happened before January 31st. Like, there's no way I don't think he knew that at this time. You know, like, on December 20th, day after Christmas, you know. When did the raid took place? Anyone remember when the raid took place? So he goes, let's save America, bro. Well, thanks, Tony. Thanks, Tony. Thank you so much. That means we're 44 away, just 44 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you all so much. Oh, let's see here. What we got here? Thank you so much. I thought I had a super chat or some anyway, but thank you so much. Wait, no banners. What I do? I can't. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. I had to see. I think we're now $42 away, right, from an extra hour. Thank you. I think I screwed that up. I don't know. You're accounted for? All right. Taking bets using insider information, plus he would have appeared credible to gain trust of the public for being right about the bets. Yeah. But I still think he should be handled in military court, in UCMJ. And they want him to fry because it was a Trump operation. I think Hexas will let it slide. To Blackpool, was he an NCO? If not directly involved in the planning, he was informed and guess not know. Yeah, no, he was a master sergeant, so like not like he had like super duper information. So in the pre-dawn hours of January 3rd. So he actually did make a wager on January 2nd, right before they went. So he probably yeah, I know, Master Sergeant NCO. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So So Polymarket resolved several Maduro Venezuelan related contexts to yes, including markets Maduro out, U.S. forces. Van Dyke won its wagers on those contracts. In total, Van Dyke profited approximately $409,000. Hey, what's up, Grips here? Grips in the chat. Where's Gripper? I missed him. Hey, what's up, Grip? Great to see you. Following successful trading related to Maduro in Venezuela, he later sent most of his proceeds to a foreign crypto vault before depositing them in a newly created online brokerage account. The same day of the operation, Van Dyke withdrew the majority of his alleged unlawful proceeds from his Polymarket account. Shortly after announcement, reports of the unusual trading and Maduro-related contracts on Polymarket appeared in the press and on social media. Van Dyke took steps to conceal his identity as a trader. On or about January 6th, for example, Van Dyke asked Polymarket to delete his Polymarket account, falsely claiming he's lost access to the email address to which the account has been associated. The same day, Van Dyke changed his email registered to his cryptocurrency exchange to an address that was not subscribed to his name, which he had created on December 14th, 2025. So this looks like he planned this out, like really planned this out. He had an email account created before he started betting and everything. $33,000 to $400,000, not bad. Yeah. Anna Polina Luna isn't buying the selective outrage for a second. She fired off a powerful statement. Maybe it's not a popular take, but I'm calling this guy to be pardoned. Unless the DOJ plans going after all the crooks in Congress currently insider trading, this is simply skewed justice. Yep. Yep, Congress does this every day. That's the thing, Azimers. They do. Congress does this every day. And this guy, what, they're going to put this guy in jail for the rest of his life for 20 years or 30 years? Luna is exactly right. From Pelosi's suspiciously timed stocks trades that delivered eye-popping returns. Some reports put her portfolio at over 16,000% gains in certain periods. And multiple members on both sides of the aisle getting rich off of non-public information. While average Americans struggle. Hypocrisy reeks to high heaven. See, like, I think if he would have told somebody, like if he would have told a girlfriend or a friend or someone, hey, make these bets, then he should have been really punished, because then he's actually revealing information to other people, as opposed to just making the bets. So, yeah, so here's it's U.S. leader soldier charged, and Maduro raised charged with betting on the leader's ouster. Like Nancy, who learned from her dad, Big Tommy, corrupt mayor of Baltimore, 4759. Liz learned from her dad, Cheney, and tricks of the trade, being a corrupt politician, follows the monies. Yes, follows the monies. Exactly. So authorities allege Gannon Van Dyke used advanced knowledge of the Maduro removal to make more than $400,000 from wagers tied directly to the operation. Van Dyke had access to sensitive, non-public details about the U.S. military's operation while actively participating in it. Federal prosecutors say the bets align with the timeline of the classified U.S. operation. At the time, Polymarket showed roughly a 6 to 8% chance that Venezuela's leader would be removed from power. So, Absolute Resolve was launched January 3rd. Department of War said it was a joint military law enforcement operation, including special operations forces from multiple service branches. So prediction markets are not having haven for using misappropriated confidential classified information, said U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton for the Southern District of New York. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission announced Thursday it filed a complaint against Van Dyke in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. Wait, are they saying Polymarket are futures? They're trying to claim that Polymarket and Kalshi and these places are futures markets regulate? I don't think so. I don't think it works that way. I don't think it works that way. That's what I'm saying, Red Alert. It's a military issue. Whatever done to military is a military issue. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. Yeah, I think this is I think that should be handled in the military. All right, and then this story here, I don't know if you guys saw that there was a lot of talk that the U.S. was blocking Iran's players and stuff and people from coming for the World Cup, but the U.S. says no, we're not blocking all Iranians, just people connected to the IRGC. So Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Thursday that Washington had no objections to Iranian players participating in the World Cup, but he added that players will not be allowed to bring with them people with ties to the IRGC. Isn't Polymarket betting on military action ousting tyrants? Yeah, it is. It is, but it's not regulated. It's not regulated. That's ridiculous to say that it's regulated by the Commodity and Futures Trading Commission or the SEC, CFTC. That's nuts. That's crazy. It's gambling. It's still gambling. Nothing from the U.S. has told them they can't come. President Trump said his administration would not want to affect athletes. Paolo Zampoli, a Trump envoy with no official connection to the World Cup, had earlier suggested that Italy should replace Iran in the tournament. He told Financial Times that he floated the proposal to Presidente Donald Trump, but the President Gianni Infantino was up against it. No, you just need a really smart DOJ and Leos who do what they're told. That's right. Richard says, military or not, I didn't pay taxes to not see justice. Okay. He would get justice in the military UCMJ. He would get hard labor at Leavenworth as opposed to Club Fed. Just saying. The problem with Iran would not be their athletes. It would be some other people they would want to bring with them, some of whom have ties to the IRGC. We would not be able to let them in, but not the athletes themselves. They can bring a bunch of IRGC terrorists in the country and pretend that they're journalists or athletic trainers. Washington has designated the IRGC as a foreign terrorist organization. So, yeah, King Charles to meet with Bandami. Oh, he's probably going to pray with them and everything. I've heard reports that King Charles is actually a Muslim now. A Muslim. I wonder what hard labor is at Leavenworth. It's probably hard. I would imagine it's breaking rocks. Isn't that what, I mean, or is that just the thing? You're breaking rocks? They have you digging holes and filling them back in? America, where you can watch a dog sleep for $25. Well, Steve, you know, what are you doing to me, Steve? I thought we were friends. Steve. At the start of the Iran war, Iran requested FIFA move the team's 3 group matches from the U.S. to Mexico, which was rejected. Zampoli suggesting that Italy could replace the Iran at the World Cup is shameful and not appropriate. Italian sports official responded to the U.S. envoy's request. Leavenworth, hard labor is a mandatory physical work requirement for male service members convicted at court-martial for serious offenses, typically those with sentences of 10 years or more. So he's not a king any longer? I don't know. I'm just saying, I've heard he's converted. Yeah, making big rocks into little rocks. Yeah. Making small rocks out of big rocks. I mean, isn't that what I always said? Breaking rocks? Just give you a sledgehammer and you go out there and just hit rocks. Yes. Learn from Jim. Harsh news softened by Bella. Iran's place in the field has been up in the air since the U.S. and Israel launched airstrikes against the nation at the end of February. We are friends, Jim. I think tonight's show is like the old days. What does that mean? It's not good? I'm terrible at the job? Trump has given mixed signals about Iran's participation, saying they were welcome, but also expressing concerns about their life and safety. Oh, best show. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, at least we expect Bella to lie like a dog. Yes, that's right. Come to Jim Tells You, where Jim tells you the news, and the only person that lies like a dog on Jim Tells You is his actual dog, Bella. How can I work on that? But I got a good saying out of that. Unlike the mainstream media that always lies like a dog, the only lying like a dog here is Bella, my dog. Yeah, that works. Best show. Thank you so much. Oh, hi, Bella girl. Hello, Jim. Hey, what's up, Dusky? How you doing tonight? So Italy, the 4-time World Cup champions, failed to qualify for this summer's 48-team tournament in North America and has not played in the event since 2014. Italy has the pedigree to justify inclusion. If they're a 4-time world champion. Why haven't they been in the event since 2014? So did YouTube apologize to you for demonetizing? No, they haven't apologized. And you know what else they haven't done? Didn't do? They haven't paid me the money they owed me from March. That's just gone. Just gone. All right. I asked about it and they said, well, you should probably get it next month, because when I look, all I show is the money that's from this month, like not last month's money. That's nowhere to be found anywhere. So who really knows? You know, they say, oh no, it'll come next month, because I was suspended during the time when they do the payouts. So they just kind of like went, you know, yeah. Oh, look at this. Tony says, fortunate enough to know how true Americans, when we grew up, God bless my grandparents, went to World War I, World War II, Great Depression, epidemic, not fake shit. That's the America I miss. Well, you know what, Tony? I miss that America too. Thank you so much. I had these on backwards. For the 10, that means we are now just $32 away from adding an extra hour to the show. And I know everybody's probably looking at on YouTube, and they say it says the goal's ended. But the way it works here at Jim Tells You is no matter how long it is, no matter what time it is, if I'm still talking and the show is still running and the money comes in and we hit the goal, we extend the show by an hour. Good. Thank you, Jim. It's finally my night off work. How are you? I'm good. There was a little scare with the old demonetization thing that happened last weekend. Thank God that's over. You know, and yeah, Wow is right. You sent military servicemen to Leavenworth, both from Bremerton and Fort Lewis, had detainees fill up sandbags for basic training and OCS courses. Okay. They wouldn't let me say COVID. I was saying the real epidemic, not the big COVID shit. My super. Yeah, that's YouTube, man. Yeah, beer is essential to the process. Hurricane, high gravity. Yeah, they need to get it together. Bella needs her treats. You ain't kidding. I miss that America too. You had 4 surgeries at Fort Lewis. So Italy sports minister Andrea Abadi emphatically ruled out the idea of getting into the World Cup through the back door. Well, you know, Italian women, back doors. Yeah, officer candidate school. That's what I said. OCS. Didn't I say OCS? Or I said OCS. If I didn't say OCS, I'm sorry. Yeah, Bella does flips. Don't pick on her. Well, she can. She's known to flip around. You know, if I say, Bella, what are you doing, Bella? You know, she might. Oh, there she goes. See? All right, right back. And forward. And back. And forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Now I don't remember which was the right way. There we go. I'm surprised they haven't banned the word unalive yet. Bad words. Yeah. Bella seems pretty wound up and hyper. I don't know. She's very. Bella. Okay. I was getting worried there for a second. I didn't see her. She didn't look like she was breathing to me. She was being extra not moving. So I was like, wait, what's going on? Hardest working staffy on the internet. Look at her. She's exhausted. Yeah. She was scaring me. I thought maybe something was wrong. Luciano Bonfangilio, president of Italy's National Olympic Committee, agreed with Abadi's remarks. First of all, I don't think it's possible. Second, I'd feel offended in order to go to the World Cup. You haven't earned it. Italy's economy minister, Giancarlo Gigliotti, says it's shameful. Italy has 2 games scheduled in Inglewood, California, and a third in Seattle. Iran, has 2 group games. So Iran has 2 games group's game scheduled in Inglewood, California. Inglewood, California. That's going to be fun. And a third in Seattle. You used deleted. You had a cut full of respiterols. Deleted his girlfriend. Only one of us, God, Messiah. Oh, my God. Yeah, Bella can move when she wants. Ask Frisky. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, when she wants to. When she wants to, she can go. Okay. And then this story is like, this story is a little out there. It says Israel says that it's ready to hit Iran's core infrastructure, awaits the U.S. green light. Well, this is just, you remember the series The Wire? They used the words "got gone." This time the attack will be different and deadlier, and will add devastating blows in places that hurt most. Lauren says, "Old man going to bed. Much love." Well, I'll take care, Lauren. Lauren. Is it Lauren or Lauren? So Israel Defense Minister Israel Katz said on April 23rd that Israel is prepared to launch a large-scale military operation against Iran that he described as different and deadlier than prior attacks, including the potential strikes on critical energy and economic infrastructure. But he is awaiting a green light from the United States. Katz, speaking after a high-level security assessment with the Israel Defense Forces leadership, said Israeli forces were fully prepared for both offensive and defensive operations and had already identified targets across Iran. Israeli is prepared to resume the war against Iran. IDF is ready on both defense and offense. Targets have been marked. We are awaiting a green light from the U.S. Green light from the U.S. Green light from the U.S. Well, that might be, yeah, Lauren. I'm thinking Lauren might be Lawrence. It just might be cut off. It might be Lauren Wembley with the underscore. It might be his name. It might be a man. It might be a man, not a woman. Could be a woman, could be a man. I don't know. But don't call him Larry because his name is Lauren. Maybe Lawrence, but maybe Lauren, but not Larry. First and foremost, in order to complete the elimination of the Khomeini dynasty, and in addition to send Iran back to the dark and stone age by blowing up its main energy and power facilities and crushing its national economic infrastructure. Katz said that signaling a possible escalation beyond previous strikes focused on military and nuclear sites. Yes. Thank you. Tony says, do you agree our worst enemy in America lives right here in America and they call themselves Democrats? I say they call them demon rats. Demon rats. Demon rats. Demon rats. But thank you so much for the 5. That means we are now just $27 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Just $27 away. Thank you. Cesium Cat, what's up, buddy? Great to have you here. Awesome to see you. Demon rats are lactose intolerant. Like Dementia Joe says, I prefer my truth over facts. You had to change the name from Democrat so YouTube would change it. I call them demon rats. Demon rats, rats, rats. Da-da-da-da. They'll chew through all your money. They're demon rats, rats, rats. Katz's remarks align with President Trump's threat to target Iran's core infrastructure, including bridges and power plants, if Tehran refuses to agree to negotiated settlement terms underpinned by the key U.S. demands of no nuclear weapons and a freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global energy choke point. The pressure campaign surely expands. U.S. forces boarded a sanctioned tanker on the the 23rd, which was yesterday. And then they also posted some stuff. So there's a cargo ship that they targeted and got. Iran's blockade of the Strait has led to a sharp rise in oil prices, with Brent crude trading above 100 after rising 17% this week and on track for its biggest weekly gain since the early phase of the war in March. Iran signals defiance. Iranian officials have responded with increasingly forceful rhetoric and demonstrations of military capability. Who wrote this? This guy, the judiciary chief, says Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard is prepared to attack U.S. naval forces using swarm tactics involving fast boats and unmanned underwater vehicles. I'd like to see him try. Yeah, these boats here, you see these boats here? The guy with the machine gun, yeah, that's going to come and attack our ships. The swarm fleet is waiting from inside the sea caves of Farber Island for intruding American warships. Well, then I guess we should bomb those sea caves, shouldn't we? Wouldn't that be like the thing to do, is to bomb those caves? You know, you can close the entrances to the caves and then the boats can't get out. Yeah, what capability? That's what I'm saying. None of this makes any sense. Officials in Iran have described these actions as lawful enforcement. Oh, so them attacking ships, shooting at ships that have nothing, that aren't belligerents to this kind of thing at all. Yeah. The same thing here. It's coming as no surprise that the Netanyahu government is not happy with its current lull in the Iran war. Israel is prepared for possible return to fighting. Fresh remarks from Katz says it's clear Israel is prepared to renew their war against Iran. The targets are already marked. Iran Supreme Leader getting a prosthetic leg, coming back. Okay, well, I saw a video. I thought I saw a video of it where he was walking and stuff with the prosthetic leg. We're waiting on a green light from the U.S., first and foremost, to complete the elimination of the Khomeini dynasty and return them to the darkened Stone Ages. Kind of already in the Stone Ages, a little bit, you know. It makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. This one just says, Israel awaits green light to return Iran to the Stone Age. Oh, that's crazy. We got this story, which is just totally yabba dabba doo. So, appeals court blocks the Trump administration's effort to bar asylum claims. Like, who do these judges think they are? Nobody voted for these judges. They're making policy decisions. Oh, wow. Jonathan Marcus, thank you so much.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Thank you so much, Jonathan Marcus, for $30 on Cash App. That means right now, folks, we are just $97 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much, Jonathan. That is awesome of you. I will go on YouTube right now. I will restart the new goal up there, the new thing, and we will add another hour. And we'll see what we're going to keep, how long we're going to keep going. I trust a date with Cosby more than I trust Bibi, to be honest. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I would like to go on. I don't think Cosby actually is. Oh my God, this is going to cause a problem. I don't think Cosby actually like, I don't think these women took the pill. I don't think he was like running around putting pills in people's drinks and doing that. I think they were willing taking the pills because during, in the 70s and 80s, there was a lot of people taking pills and stuff, and they kind of did it all the time. I don't think this whole thing about slipping in drinks, I don't buy. Maybe, but I don't buy it. But maybe, but I don't know. I just saying. I can't see Dr. Huxtable doing that. Yes, thank you for the chat, for supporting Jim and Real News. Yes, thank you so much. Let me come over here right meow. Do this, rot meow, rat meow. Take care of this, rat meow. Got 81 likes too. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let me go this rat meow. Start a new goal. Okay. We'll do 20 super chats of $5 or higher. Should I do it at just $10 super chats or the $25 super chats? It's always something I always wondered about because, at this time I'm going to do 10. I'm going to do $10 super chats just to see if it makes a difference for 1 hour. Just because, I don't know, maybe I'm $97 away. But I still, obviously everything's going to count. Why can't I see the total written in gold? Words are missing. Do I have the size wrong? What do you mean? Size wrong with what? Goal ends. What do you mean? What do you mean? Karen says, why can't I see total written in goal? Words are missing. Do I have the size wrong? You're talking about on this thing that's scrolling across the bottom? Something must be wrong if you can't see it. Because I think so. The show will extend by additional hour. We're currently 97 away from the second additional hour. I think it's working. Maybe something on your screen. He literally said, so I dropped pills in the drinks. Did he really say that? Wow. I still think I would trust him more. Okay. All right. So the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals on Friday blocked President Trump's efforts to ban migrants at the Mexican border from claiming asylum. The 2-1 decision came from a 3-judge panel found the policy violated the INA. Activist judges are the problem. Pretty sure the rules are you have to apply for asylum or refugee at the nearest U.S. embassy. Yes, you're supposed to apply in the first safe country you enter. So they're supposed to apply there. They're actually supposed to apply to stay in that country or at a U.S. embassy. They're not supposed to just come to the border like that. No. So Congress enacted the asylum statute with narrow exceptions specified by statute to grant all foreign individuals physically present in the United States a right to apply for asylum. Okay, yeah, but they're not in the country yet. This is what is going on here? Because I swore, wait a minute. I swore this was at the Supreme Court just recently, and the Supreme Court said, well, yeah, but being outside, not in yet, we don't have to let you in. So if we don't have to let you in, we don't have to grant you the asylum. I think this is at the Supreme Court. I don't know what these guys are doing. Yeah, start arresting the judges. Yeah. The victim said he offered them pills and they took them not knowing what they were. Decision is a blow to the administration, which is expected to appeal to the Supreme Court. Since his return to the White House, Trump has worked to stop illegal immigration and enact mass deportations, repeatedly meeting with judicial obstacles. Despite some wins at the Supreme Court, however, he's not been fully able to enact his agenda. I think this might already be at the Supreme Court, but it might be there on the like the shadow docket or something like that, like not on the merits thing where like it went there and they're covering like the temporary restraining order or something on this. Maybe. I don't know. Because I could swear that was what these hearings were just about, was them talking about like Let me open a couple of tabs. Do. I'm just opening some tabs. Okie dokie, here we go. Oh, so we got this. Look at this. AI says Bill told a joke once about slipping pills to women. Okay. Was he trying to ban illegal migrants from applying only or illegal migrants as well? He was stopping people. No final ruling yet. It's expected in July. That's what I thought. If that was over them, if someone's trying to come in and they don't let them in, they stop them and say, you have to stay in Mexico if you want to apply for asylum. You can't come in because once they're in the country, there's like an automatic thing. When they say asylum, you got to do this whole stuff. But that's only if they're in the country. And so they were debating on whether that means like knocking on the door to come in or if you're already in. Because if you're not allowed in yet, if you're presenting to come in and they turn you around and tell you to go back, then you're not guaranteed asylum like in the country. They can be like, nope, sorry. Go wait over there for asylum. That's what this is about. So make D.C. square again. Congressman proposes adding Arlington, Alexandria back to D.C.
Buying life insurance shouldn't feel scary.
This is a lot.
There's a better way. Protect your world in 15 minutes with life insurance built for the 21st century. No pushy salespeople, just peace of mind.
Wow, thanks for the peace of mind. So here's some pictures and photos and stuff.
Here's this story. Weigh in on this one. A Georgia congressman is pitching a plan to make D.C. square again by making Arlington and Alexandria a part of the district again.
It's actually supposed to be a diamond shape. It's a diamond shape, not square. It's a diamond shape, but it is square, but it's a square like a diamond. It's not square. It's like the way it's angled.
Congressman Rick McCormick claims the city and county were always meant to be part of D.C. and says the recent debate over redrawing Virginia's congressional maps could have been avoided.
Washington, D.C. was ceded Arlington and Alexandria over to Virginia. That has warped the system since then. If you think about it, that's what's caused all this consternation right now in the recent law that was passed. That's going to allow them to reapportion themselves 10-1 from 6-5.
No word yet on whether the plan has any supporters in Congress or in D.C. and Virginia.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is I think maybe it's possible. It's possible that the thing that allowed them to go back actually isn't constitutional because D.C. its size and everything is all in the Constitution. They didn't do a constitutional amendment to change the size of D.C. You can look at the Constitution; and it says exactly the size of D.C. Yeah, D.C. 10 square miles. Yeah, it's in the Constitution, the size. So, hey Tony, thanks again, man. God, you're being so generous tonight. I agree that soon we will die, and we will just want to leave America in a good place for younger people. That's why I voted for Trump, and I love the guy because he tries as hard as he can. Loves America. That's what I'm saying. He's trying. He's really trying. He's really, 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 really trying. Thank you so much, Tony. With that, that means we are now just $87 away, from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much again, Tony. Did he rape Zelensky too? Maybe. I don't know. Well, isn't Arlington mostly dead people and tourists? Pretty much. Rotate your screen 45 degrees. It'll be a diamond. Yeah. Won't work. You don't think so? Annabelle in Virginia had slavery, so D.C. ceded Alexandria back to Virginia. Yes, it is, Jim. Isn't this over the slave issue when they split? Yeah, that's what they're saying. 10 diamond miles. Yeah, something. All I saw is a blue monkey reaching westward. Okay. Boom, shakalaka. What's up, man? Good to see you, Boom Shakalaka. Awesome to have you here today. Don't look like a dauntless. Great for being here. Awesome. Yeah. In a post on X, Congressman Rick McCormick said Arlington and Alexandria were always meant to be part of D.C., arguing the change would simplify long-running debates over political maps and representation. Well, not for the people, not for the people that live in those areas. Noah's Ark alien ship just flew over my house. Uh-oh. That's good. Be careful. Bureaucrats hijacked Virginia, but we will restore it. Is this the thing we just watched?
So in 1846, Washington, D.C. was ceded Arlington and Alexandria over to Virginia. That has warped the system since then. If you think about it, that's what's caused all this consternation right now in the recent law that was passed. That's going to allow them to reapportion themselves 10-1 from 6-5. What we want to do is make D.C. square again. It's a simple concept. Square. We repeal that unconstitutional law, give back Virginia exactly what it should have.
If it's unconstitutional, then it shouldn't need to be repealed. Just sue, take it to the Supreme Court. Like, why hasn't anyone done this yet? There's a problem here. Yeah, little known fact, Robert E. Lee gave us. Actually, that's not a little known fact. Anybody that knows anything about history, but I appreciate it. Anybody that knows anything about history knows that was Robert E. Lee's farm. His family, it was gifted for the Arlington National Cemetery. Yeah.
I give D.C. what it should have and get this thing right.
The proposal comes as Virginia continues to debate. No, they're not really debating. Tuesday special election, a judge blocked the state from certifying the results, ruling that both the referendum and the bill that triggered it are unconstitutional. Decision puts a temporary halt on the certification process tied to the state's redistricting effort. Virginia's current Attorney General, Jay Jones, and if you guys remember, this Attorney General, Jay Jones, is a guy who threatened that he wanted to see his opponents killed and their kids to die in their arms and stuff like that. This is a sick person is. Sick man said these things. So all of a sudden they're worried about being constitutional. It's crazy, isn't it? Isn't it crazy? Right now, there's no indication that McCormick's proposal has support in Congress or from the leaders in D.C. or Virginia. Doesn't need the leaders in D.C. or Virginia. It doesn't really need anybody. The Constitution says the size of what it is. And the law that gave that back to Virginia is unconstitutional. They didn't do a constitutional amendment. They just passed a statute. So just like the statute that said that Washington, D.C. has home rule, when the Constitution says that there shall be it shall not be part of no state or government besides the federal government, and it'll be, managed by the Congress. So Congress just didn't want to do its job, so they passed it off to someone else, and that's why it's so corrupt and has all this other crap that should all be handled separately with a lot less graft and stuff that's happening. They separate the Bill of Rights from the Constitution so they can abuse it. Yeah. Wasn't Robert E. Lee for the South, lost Civil War, land on cemetery? Yes, he was. Virginia, he was. Robert E. Lee was the commandant of West Point right up until the Civil War started. They wanted him to lead the army for the Union, and he said, I'm sorry, I have to go fight for Virginia, my state.
Now to that pivotal special election in Virginia, which could have major implications for the midterm elections. In a fairly close vote, Virginians voted yes on Tuesday to redraw the state's congressional districts. The 51 to 49% vote now paves the way for Democrats to pick up as many as 4 new seats in the House. And while the votes may be counted, Republicans say this fight is far from over. Their attention turns now to the courts and a crucial case being heard by the Virginia Supreme Court in just days. And late this afternoon, a judge in Southwest Virginia has weighed in with a separate ruling saying the referendum was unconstitutional. Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey takes a look at why Republicans are hopeful that these new maps will be struck down.
The headline today is the legal fight is now on.
That's the assessment from former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli as he and other Republicans shift attention to court challenges that still threaten the future of the Congressional Redistricting map just approved by voters. The new map.
Yeah, Ken Cuccinelli, he was previously the Virginia Attorney General, I believe, or a U.S. Attorney maybe, or something like that, maybe years ago. And he also worked for Trump, I want to say, in the first Trump administration.
Could net Democrats up to 4 seats as they push for control of the narrowly divided House. There are 4.
What is going on?
4 cases before the courts, 2 in the Virginia Supreme Court, 1 in Richmond Circuit Court, and 1 in Tazewell County. In 3 of the cases, attorneys for Republican plaintiffs argue Democrats violated state law or the Constitution in the way they rushed the special election to the voters. The Supreme Court will hear oral arguments on Monday in 1 of the cases, but Congressman James Walkinshaw, who celebrated with Democrats last night, questions whether the court would upend the election results.
It would be shocking. I think it would be outrageous for the court at this juncture to overrule the voters.
But Cuccinelli says when the court put a pause on the challenge and ruled the referendum could move forward, it also had a warning.
The court made it very clear. They actually said, and this was very unusual, that we have significant concerns when they held the case in abeyance. To make any comment like that at all is very unusual.
Attorney General Jay Jones says his office is prepared to defend the special election process and the maps.
I am so proud of my team for stepping in and working tirelessly to make sure that this continues to move forward. And so we will take everything as it comes and continue to work diligently on behalf of the people of Virginia.
The GOP's leader in the Virginia House disappointed with the special election loss, but predicting a different outcome in the end when all the court challenges are decided.
We still lost, but we're going to win ultimately in the courts.
The Virginia Supreme Court is expected to make a quicker than usual decision after hearing the arguments. That's because the clock is ticking for congressional candidates to gather signatures to get on the primary ballot. In Fairfax County, I'm Julie Carey, News 4.
In today's Tazewell County ruling, the judge said the legislation that set up the special election violated a host of laws. He ordered the special election results not to be certified and that congressional districts not be altered. Virginia's Attorney General says he will immediately appeal the ruling.
Oh, okay, good for him. Good for him. It's not going to work, I don't think. I think it's a dead ringer thing. So yeah, so there's that. So now you guys saw the stuff that happened with the SPLC, right? All these that they were paying all these people money and doing things basically. And it's possible now there's a lot of connections between Michigan's current Attorney General, Dana Nessel, and the SPLC. So is it possible? Remember how those guys, the Whitmer kidnapping hoax, the Fednapping hoax, all that turned out to be like 13 people, and all but 4 of them were agents or something like that. Like, it's possible maybe there's some ties there, because it says Michigan gubernatorial frontrunners' deep ties to the corrupt Southern Poverty Law Center demand scrutiny. If they can drag the case out, they could stop the midterm redistricting. Well, yeah, no, if they don't get approval enough time, they don't have enough time because they have to print ballots, they have to do all these things. You know, the SPLC was creating their own job security. That's the thing. If they don't get a response out by June, even if it's going to be too late to do anything, because you got to have primaries. You got to be able to set it all up. And this judge that ordered them to stop said they can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't print ballots. You can't start setting up anything. You can't start moving anything. You can't come up with plans. The judge basically said you can't do nothing. You can't prepare. You can't do anything. Or Jocelyn Benson, not Dana Nessel. Which one's Dana Nessel? And the investigation an indictment of SPLC put Jocelyn Benson, a sitting statewide official and gubernatorial candidate, in an awkward position. Why did I think it was Dana Nessel? So it's the Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, and frontrunner has both personal and institutional ties to the Southern Poverty Law Center. Interim President and CEO Brian Fair acknowledged the focus appears to be on SPLC's prior use of paid confidential informants. SPLC, you're not a federal agency, you're not a police agency, you don't have any law enforcement powers, you don't have paid confidential informants. Those are just called you're in a conspiracy to pay people to commit crimes at this point. Known for years about time something was done, FBI has used the SPLC for a long time to drive their pre-digest. Yeah. Well, here's the thing too, is that they stopped using these paid informants in 2023, and the Biden administration closed the investigation into them. So the Biden administration knew this was going on and knew it was against the law. And somebody in the Biden administration said, hey, listen, just quietly shut this down. Don't say anything. And we're going to just make this go away. And don't do this again because this is against the law. They knew it was against the law. That's why they told them to stop. If it wasn't against the law, they wouldn't have told them to stop. And they told them to stop and then close the investigation. Yeah, hey, what's up, Three Puppy Dogs? How you doing? Neat Scholar says, I love pointing out to the leftoids that these evil white supremacists protesting with tiki torch you kept blaming us for. Guess what? They were paid by the SPLC. Yes, it's great, isn't it? Isn't it great? Later, the DOJ revealed that a federal grand jury had indicted the organization on 11 counts, including wire fraud, false statements, conspiracy to commit money laundering. In addition, the department alleged that the SPLC secretly funneled more than $3 million in donated funds to individuals who were associated with various violent extremist groups, including the Ku Klux Klan, the Aryan Nation, the National Socialist Party of America, the Nazi Party of America, the Unite the Right rally. Yes. By Benson's own account, she worked at the organization as an undercover operative in the late 1990s, going as far as to pretend to be a freelance journalist to gain access to neo-Nazi leaders and white supremacist groups. In her 2025 memoir, The Purposeful Warrior, Benson described the work just shy of 20 years old, posing as a freelance journalist, meeting with leaders and members of hate groups to gather information on their activities and plans. Yes. Whitmer and anyone who works for her sucks up to the Muslim community, Muslim. It was at the Southern Poverty Law Center where Benson found the purpose invoked in the title of her book. Michigan Fair Elections Institute and New York News and Commentary review of the memoir pinpoints Benson's Damascus Road. Person running in the driveway. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. The radical Islamists are the snake in the grass, and the moderates are the grass hiding the snakes. Yes. Benson and a girlfriend were making their pilgrimage to Montgomery during spring break. Benson met with SPLC staff and attorneys to hear about how they were working on the front lines to address racially biased hate crimes and teach the next generation of children to stand up to hate in all its forms. Yes, by setting it up and staging more crimes to use. During that spring break in 98, Benson found her purpose as I prayed to be someone who would choose to stand at the foot of the Edmund Petrus Bridge and march forward to further the cause that I believe in. These people are all fucking deluded in the brain. The SPLC internship Benson later accepted was unpaid. It's not clear whether that would absolve her of the kinds of potential illegal activities that DOJ and FBI have been investigating. Was she involved? Was she paying people? Did she transfer money from someone else? Was she one of the conduits? Is she part of the money laundering? Benson later joined the SPLC's board of directors, a role she held for several years. When questioned about the board membership in March 2019, shortly after taking office, her office stated she had informed SPLC leadership she would be stepping down. So she was clearly working for them on the board when these illegal activities were happening, because they have it going from 2013 to 2023. So this guy from PJ Media documented that Benson remained listed on the SPLC board after the announcement and challenged her office to produce a resignation letter. The request went unanswered. So they never produced the letter. Throughout her political career, Benson has worn her SPLC history as a badge of honor. As recently as 2020, she posted, "I started my career tracking white supremacists and neo-Nazis at the SPLC." The timing of the investigation and indictment is significant. A new poll published this week shows Benson as the front runner for the Michigan governor's race. The investigation and indictment of the SPLC put a sitting statewide official and gubernatorial candidate in the awkward position of having her signature career credential now attached to an organization under federal criminal scrutiny. She might be under federal criminal scrutiny. If they have any documents that she was ordering any of these things to happen when she was on the board or facilitating them when she worked in the field, she committed crimes. And because it's a conspiracy, it's a vast conspiracy, the statute of limitations is good. The following are pressing questions. What was the precise nature and scope of Benson's undercover work at the SPLC? Yes. I'd pay to see Griswold and Hobbs hauled out in cuffs. Yeah. Who ordered it? Who directed it? Who ordered the cord read? Mm-hmm. They're now subject to a federal investigation and indictment. I don't know why I thought it was Dana Nessel. I don't know. Benson faces scrutiny over SPLC ties. Federal officials allege the organization directed more than $3 million in donor funds between 2014 and 2013. Well, she was there until 2020, right? 2019, 2020. So that's 5 years she was there on the board when this was going on. I think she might have some legal jeopardy. Jeopardy. Mm-hmm. The allegations against the SPLC have prompted questions about her role as a board member. Yes. As a member of the board, did Jocelyn Benson know that donor money was being used to fund extremists and extremism and violence? Seemed like a problem. Yep. SPLC is a nonprofit entity. Shouldn't they immediately lose their nonprofit status? Like immediately. Like immediately they should lose their nonprofit status. Like fucking immediately. Why not? Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said at a news conference that the SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose. Taking on violent. Yes, this guy's just a liar, that one guy. So separately, Benson is also facing multiple lawsuits alleging racial discrimination within the Michigan Department of State. You don't think, huh? Lawsuit filed just last week by Metro Detroit employees Jacqueline Griffin and Cheryl Ann Sanker alleged where they were subjected to discrimination and retaliation. The plaintiffs are seeking $10 million in damages. We unequivocally refute these allegations, says Angela Bendander, Benson's chief communications officer. Secretary and department leadership told themselves and employees to the highest ethical standards. Oh, yes, we hold ourselves to the highest ethical standards. We would never, ever do anything wrong. Hey, what's up, Leslie Ann? How you doing? Thanks for being there. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. The case marks at least the fourth lawsuit in recent years alleging racial discrimination from the Democrats. The Democrats. A separate lawsuit filed in January on behalf of 4 employees alleged racially hostile environment. Hansel says not profit is oxymoron, as it does not mean you can't make money. You just got to take it all as a salary and not profits. That's right. You have to pay it all out in salaries and gifts and give it to people. I brought these matters to the attention of Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. Ms. Benson did not act to correct the situation. Benson's department has denied the allegations of racial discrimination. Previous disputes have resulted in settlements, including a $775,000 agreement reached in 2024 with a former employee who alleged racially hostile work environment. So they weren't discriminatory, but they just paid somebody more than $750,000. Somehow I don't believe their story. This all comes as Benson campaigns for governor and is considered a leading Democrat candidate for the election, which is just 194 days. We got this story here, which is quite interesting. The DOJ is charging 2 Chinese nationals who ran an overseas scam center targeting Americans. Officials say crypto fraud, cyber scams, and human trafficking are being committed on an industrial scale and costing Americans billions with a B in lost savings. The Department of Justice has announced that its Scam Center Strike Force has filed criminal charges and issued arrest warrants against 2 Chinese nationals for operating a cryptocurrency investment fraud operation in Burma, also known as Myanmar, and trying to start another in Cambodia. The strike force also seized a Telegram app channel that used the promise of non-existent jobs to lure unsuspecting job seekers to its compound in Burma, along with 503 fake investment websites. According to the Department of Justice, the strike force unsealed arrest warrants against Huang Hengxiong, also known as Xi, and Huang Xingxian, and Jiang Weidai, known as Jingnan, in connection with cryptocurrency investment fraud operation in Minlatpan, Burma. They are charged with wire fraud conspiracy, according to the statement. They are being held in Cambodia on immigration charges, according to the U.S. Attorney, Janine Pirro. The United States is working with Cambodian officials, Pirro said in a statement on April 22nd in a press conference. We're hoping to bring these individuals back here to face justice, she said. The pair allegedly scammed billions of dollars from victims around the world, including from the United States. Huang and Jiang are accused of managing the Shunda compound in Minlatpan. Pirro described the compound from which the officials took 8,000 cell phones, 1,500 computers, as very large, sophisticated operation. First time working with the SPLC was Portland, late 80s. Mulagata Sara killing, while white supremacist connection with the Hayden ID. Dealing with Chinese scammers is dead easy. When you answer your phone and an automatic message starts to talk to you in Chinese, just hang up. Yes. Yeah, fantastic. They should be charged on the spelling alone. Yes. Definitely. Feed the koi. These places are cities, essentially, where you have enslaved labor that's been trafficked, and they've been conned into going, and they think it's a legitimate job, and they end up being enslaved. They need to prove this. Yes, they do need to prove this. Hey, what's up, DeFinch? How's it going? Did you say something else that I missed? Snarf, what are you doing, man? In one scheme, scammers posting as bankers called individuals and told them their bank accounts had been used to buy guns from a U.S. gun store website that was real. Victims were then transferred to others posing as NYPD detectives and other law enforcement agents. Wow, this is a very elaborate plan, but why wouldn't anybody just say, okay, come to my house and talk to me in person? Eventually, victims were connected with fake court officials and convinced to disclose bank account information and transfer money to the scammers. The Shunda compound reportedly operates between January 2025 and November 2025. Compound operators also use sham websites, social media, and mobile applications masquerading as legitimate investments to lure in victims. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center reports that investment scams were the most reported crime in 2023. Cryptocurrency investment fraud accounted for 83% of reports. Approximately 3.96 billion with a B was stolen in 2023. 5.8 billion was stolen in 2024. Reported losses rose by 25.4% in 2025 to more than $7.2 billion, according to the center's 2025 report. A Telegram channel with more than 6,000 followers featured phony job opportunities promising high salaries in Cambodia. Some ads sought workers who spoke English with an American accent. Once hired, recruited workers' passports were taken and they were forced to defraud victims, including Americans. Malagat Sarah was an Ethiopian immigrant killed by neo-Nazis in Portland. Watch the OPB PBS documentary. Everything that was doc is polar opposite of what actually happened. Okay. Pirro said the compound had a brutal incentives program. Policemen talked to suspects. They were trafficked and tortured people if they didn't deliver on fake cryptocurrency investments to steal Americans' life savings. The Scam Center Strike Force was formed in November 2025 to investigate scams compounds in Southeast Asia with an emphasis on identifying and arresting the top leaders. Strike Force is made up of elements from the U.S. Attorney's Office, DOJ's Criminal Division, FBI, Secret Service, and partners with the Department of State and Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Control and the Department of Commerce. Pirro and the other officials who spoke said law enforcement operations in line with President Trump's executive order calling on federal agencies to protect Americans from transnational criminal operations and cyber scams. So the Assistant Secretary of Terrorist Financing at the Treasury Department, Jonathan Burke, said the strike force is trying to get ahead of a major problem. And scam centers in Southeast Asia are persistent, and the problem is just growing and growing for Americans. Just growing and 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 growing. Well, here is some news of Trump expanding refugee programs, which I, at first, when they said Trump's expanding a welfare, you don't have a lime, Jim? PBS really went to hell. I have lime juice in the fridge. I might have a couple limes. Do India next. Definitely do India next. Yeah. So Trump is poised to expand refugee program for white South Afrikaners. For Afrikaners. Afrikaners. Donald Trump's administration is considering more than doubling the annual refugee limit to bring in more South Afrikaners into the United States. Trump paused refugee admissions from around the world when he took office in January 2025. Weeks later, he issued an executive order prioritizing the resettlement of European-descended Afrikaners, saying they faced race-based persecution in the majority black South Africa. South Africa's government vehemently denies the claim. They're fucking lying. We saw those things. We saw all the charts showing how many race-based laws they have, which are legitimately saying, oh, black, if you're black, if you're a kafir, as they say, you get this. How do you guys feel about that? It's not only for whites, but minorities that are being persecuted. Yes. Totally awesome. So the refugee program formally was established in 1980 after hundreds of thousands of people fled to wars in Vietnam and Cambodia. Trump has used it almost exclusively to bring in South Afrikaners into the U.S. Oh, they don't like that, do they? Straight times. U.S. officials discussed expanding the 7,500 person refugee cap by 10,000 to allow more South Afrikaners and of Afrikaner ethnicity to obtain refugee status. I mean, if we can get more Elon Musks here to do what he's did, that would be great. Yeah, color racists are all the same. They're all the same. The color racists are all the same. All the same. White House referred questions to the State Department. State Department spokesman did not confirm or deny the allegations. If the president decides to raise the fiscal year 2026 refugee admission caps, he will do so at the appropriate time. And any numbers discussed at this point are only speculation. During the apartheid era, which ended with the first democratic elections in 1994, South Africa maintained a racially segregated society with separate schools, neighborhoods, and public facilities for people classified as black, colored, white, or Asian. Yeah, and it's the same thing now. It's just whites are all excluded. Blacks make up 81% of South Africa's population. Afrikaners and other white South Africans constitute 7%. U.S. admitted about 4,500 South Afrikaners as refugees through the first 6 months of the fiscal year. On pace to exceed Trump's existing limits. The only refugees other than South Afrikaners to enter were 3 Afghans, according to the State Department. Oh, well, so. Trump set the record low refugee ceiling of 7,500 for fiscal year 2026, which began October 1st, 2025, down from the ceiling of 125,000 for Joe Biden. So Joe Biden was letting in 125,000 refugees every year, not to mention all the people he paroled and all the other people he just let in. They let in 20 million people, 25 million. That was the fucking door. It was Katie bar the door, man. It was fucking people coming in. Thank God no racist or color racist will be allowed in heaven. That's right. I get a tan. Do you? Color enriched. Yes, Karen. Peter Steele was a green man. If Trump administration is also discussing bringing in refugees of other nationalities, one of the people familiar with the planning said. U.S. officials are weighing whether religious minorities from Iran and countries that used to be part of the Soviet Union could be included on what's known as the Lautenberg program. The program stems from an 89 budget amendment introduced by then U.S. Senator Frank Lautenberg that aimed to make it easier for Jewish refugees to resettle in the U.S. Some South Africans in the U.S. decide to go back home. Even as Trump looks further to ramp up entry South Africans, the U.S. internal government email review by Reuters showed that at least 4 refugees already in the U.S. have returned. So they let in 7,500 and 4 went home. So they're saying some of them have choosing to go home. Well, here's the thing. How many refugees from other places that came here and claim asylum, like all those people from Iran and other places that they say people are there going to kill them, and they go on fucking vacation back there. So this story is horseshit, Straight Times. I'm part Indian, Mongol, Scottish, Irish, Viking, and Dad was part black too. I'm in Ohio, so ticked off over rhinos allowing the Haitian Somali temporary status invaders to stay. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. It's crazy. It's cray-cray. It says one South African who arrived in Minneapolis in late January departed the U.S. less than a month later, the email showed. Case notes that he plans for his daughter and children to join him fell through, so he returned to his home country. Okay, so a guy that wanted his daughter and grandchildren to come with them, and they couldn't come, they were refused, so he decided to go back to be with them. That's called what a fucking man does. What is wrong with these people? Okay, then a pair of South Africans who arrived in Twin Falls in January, being the refugee program, turned around a week later saying parents fell ill in South Africa. So this is another one. It had nothing to do about them deciding that they didn't want to stay here. Just other things they decided were more important, like than their own freedom and safety. So hold on, I got to get something else to drink because I'm losing my voice is getting dried out, and this story is really pissing me off. Another South African resettled in Moline, Illinois in mid-March returned home weeks later. Resettlement occurred quickly as she had not thoroughly thought through the process, and her family in South Africa decided not to continue their own resettlement process. These are all people, the client's age was 66, ability to provide herself was a concern. So these are all people who had a reason, like other people that were supposed to come couldn't come, or someone got sick, so they had to turn around and go back. Hey, what's up, lucky number 7? Greetings and salutations. This story is really pissing me off. It is because they're like saying like, well, these people are coming from South Africa, but some of them didn't like it here and they wanted to go back. So it couldn't be that bad in South Africa because 4 of them went back out of 7,500. 4 of them went back out of 7,500. What? I swear, you really cannot hate the media enough. You really can't. You really can't. You can't hate the media enough. Fucking people. And most likely risking their lives. Yeah, they're most likely risking their lives, but they're going back because their family was there and they don't want because their family was supposed to come here, but their family couldn't come, so they had to go back. Did they take a suitcase full of cash with them? Yeah. Did they do it like the Somalis did, where they took suitcases full of cash? Probably not. Mr. Trump portrayed South Africa as dangerous and oppressive for whites, yet thousands of South Africans abroad returned to the country in recent years. U.S. government contracting documents reported by Reuters said they aim to process 4,500 a month through the refugee program. I mean, it's fucking people, man, with this story. Really pissing me off. I think I'm done with, I don't know. This is just Reuters archive thing. Yeah, some in South Africa just decided to go back home. These fucking people. This is shit story, Reuters. You guys should be ashamed of yourself with the scummy move you just pulled there. Shit story. Uh-huh. All right, we got this story, which is great news. No, they will land with very little, get any job, and make a new life free from fear. Yeah. Where, in South Africa? Yeah, I don't think so. The gig is up. I'm not so sure about Canada. I think those Muslims hated Charlie Hebdo a bit too much. I thought Trump was going to fine the fake news for not vetting stories. I don't know if they can do that. No, in the USA. Oh, yeah, in the USA. Yeah, in the USA, they'll be fine. The only power they have is our reaction to their BS. Could be. So check this out. All right. The DOJ has targeted 384 people for denaturalization in an expanded crackdown. The Justice Department has identified 384 foreign-born Americans whose citizenship is intended to revoke, marking a significant expansion of the denaturalization efforts as part of Trump administration's broader immigration crackdown. It should be like a lot more than that. Senior DOJ officials told colleagues during a meeting last week that civil litigators in 39 U.S. attorneys' offices will soon be assigned to file cases against the individuals. The newspaper reported on Thursday that two others familiar with the plans confirmed the initiative, but they did not immediately make it clear what led officials to target the 384 individuals. Probably they broke the fucking law and lied about shit. And so they're not their green card or whatever. They lied. They did something to lie to get their citizenship. How far away from a second hour? Let's see if we can get a rally started. We are currently $87 away from a second hour, and we're already got 12 minutes left. 12 minutes left on it. Now, this is what I want to see. Omar coming. Under federal law, the government may seek to strip citizenship from individuals who obtained it through fraud, such as by concealing disqualifying information. Some criminal convictions can also lead to denaturalization. The process requires the government to present evidence in federal court, making such complex cases complex and time-consuming. Traditionally, denaturalization cases have been handled by specialists within the Justice Department's Office of Immigration and Litigation. The decision to assign the work more broadly to civil divisions across the country could sharply increase the number of cases which have historically been rare. They shouldn't be rare. They should be whenever the fuck they have the grounds to do it. Matthew Transgender, a Justice Department transgressor, I don't know, said that officials are pursuing the highest volume of denaturalization referrals in history. The Department of Justice is laser focused on rooting out criminal aliens defrauding the naturalization process. Yes. Ohio has a rhino governor, DeWine, who literally owns Haitian schools, which opened and closed numerous times. The DeWine Family Foundation took numerous trips while in the Senate. Yeah, he's a scumbag. He's a scumbag, a piece of shit. Nobody likes him. He's shorter than a spit. In it to go around the here and be there for her. Oh, uppity-ka-dumpity-uppity-uppity. Ippity-uppity-uppity-uppity. Bing-a-dum-pity-bing-a-dum-pity-bing-a-dum-pity-doo. Rubba-doo-ba-da-ba-da-dee-ba-dee-ba-da-ba-doo. Boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-doo-boo-doo. Boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-doo-boo-doo. One second, trying to find something else I wanted to talk about. Okay, sorry. Oh, what's to say? Brian Ogden says, yes, no one in Ohio is a DeWine fan. Thank you, Brian Ogden. With that means we are now $82 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you all so much. So generous. Greatly appreciated. Oh, Kim, KPT says $7 from PayPal. Says not much, but something. Thank you so much, KPT. Thank you. Thank you much, KPT. That means we are 75 away, folks. Just 75 away. We're 1/4 of the way there, folks. Just 75 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. So close. PayPal. I got the PayPal. I got it. 75 away. Just got off work. Well, relax. Have some, something to drink. And Bella is ready. Yeah. One day you hope to be Brian Ogden worthy. What does that mean, KPT? Did you get your channel's woes figured out? Sort of. But, I'm still waiting to find out what's going on with the money that they just made disappear. Oh, he's such a generous donor. Oh, he is. He's super generous. Everybody here is generous. All you guys are generous. Everyone here is generous for being here, giving me their time. Giving me their likes, giving me their comments. You're all generous. So the effort follows a directive issued months earlier by the DHS to refer more than 200 potentially denaturalization cases per month to the Justice Department. Wow, 200 per month. Legal experts say the move signals a broader push to increase enforcement. Amanda Frost, a law professor at the University of Virginia, said that the initiative could create uncertainty for naturalized citizens. Here's the thing. They should be uncertain if they broke the friggin' law. If they lied, then they should be uncertain. The message it sends that naturalized citizens don't have the same rights and stability as native-born citizens. They don't. If they lied to get to citizenship. What are you fucking talking about? DeWine is a rhino. Vivek will make Ohio the next Minnesota. Vote Putsch for governor. Between 90 and 2017, the government filed 305 cases, averaging about 11 per year. From 2017 to last year, officials sought to revoke citizenship for over 120 individuals. The DOJ's expanded approach may also strain resources. Oh, so we're worried about resources when it comes to kicking people out of the country? I don't think so. Francie Hakes, director of executive office for United States attorneys, described that 384 cases as the first wave. You can acknowledge that some offices are already understaffed and managing a surge in immigration-related litigation. Could be. Brian Ogden says, KPT, I'm sending this for you. Thank you, Brian Ogden. That means we're down to 70, just $70 away. Thank you so much. Just $70 away. If your company is now understaffed, they were not following the rules. Yeah, that's right. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. So Jackson disputed the characterization, saying the effort's based on existing federal law rather than a new White House initiative. Civil divisions of the U.S. Attorney's Office typically focus on cases such as healthcare fraud, civil rights enforcement, and asset forfeiture. Expanding their role to include denaturalization could shift resources away from those priorities. I think they can walk and chew gum at the same time. Trump administration has already filed cases against a range of individuals, including Ghana-born Marine convicted in military court, an Argentine man accused of misrepresenting his nationality, and then a Nigerian national convicted in tax fraud scheme. Yeah, they all should go. They all should go. They all should go now. It doesn't even seem anyone around. I think they should go now. They should go to their own country now. Bum, 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 bum. Did I see the article about the U.S. military getting busted for the poly market bet? Yep, we talked about that earlier today. I missed 3 hours plus. Some critics say the initiative echoes earlier periods in U.S. history when denaturalization was used more broadly. Lucas Guttentag, a former DOJ official now at Stanford Law School, said the current approach risks undermining long-standing tenets. Oh, yeah, like the tenets of we're going to let people do whatever the fuck they want, not punish them. Yeah. Genuine fraud, when it actually occurs, has always been aggressively pursued. Genuine fraud. You see that? Genuine fraud. So he's making a thing saying like, well, that's not genuine fraud. That's just like fraud. That's not fraud. So does he say that when he's asked about rape? Does he say genuine rape? Because is that the same thing? Like genuine rape? Like rape? Not like, date rape, but like rape where, like, or whatever, It sounds like a genuine fraud. Not like the fraud that's been committed all over the fucking country for billions and billions of dollars. Is that genuine fraud? Is that what you're talking about? This kind of mass denaturalization campaign will be based on a distortion of the law. It's another transparent effort to destabilize long-established principles of United States citizenship. Like grape ape, date rape, well, I think I'm going back to where? Naturalized citizens undergoing extensive vettings, including background checks, biometric screenings, and civics and language testing. Where are you going back to? You're not going back to Puerto Rico, are you? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I don't know. You can go back to, I don't know. Too many snidely whiplashes out there. Jeez. Yeah. It just says Justice Department's target citizens and new denaturalization push. This was his DOJ aims to stretch citizenship from hundreds of foreign-born Americans. Oh. If they got it through fraud, then they're not really that American. Not really that American. Hold on one second. Just got to check something. I just got a notification. Thank you. All right. All right. Check this out. Oh, damn it. I hit the wrong damn button. I hit the wrong damn button. Check this out. So a Colorado DA rejected 50 pages of recommended felony charges, including 29 cases of child sex abuse. This is where more rope comes in. You're on a huge one on high 90. You're on I-90. Truckers couldn't speak English. Primary voting May 5th. Casey the car guy, Casey Poosh. Not sure millennials could pass a civics test. The old country, you're going to self-deport? Really? Oh, well. Why? What's going on? Tell me what happened. That doesn't sound like the Joe I know. So one case, a teacher who was put on leave for child abuse, the sheriff referred the case for charges and the DA rejected it. This is nuts, right? It's just nuts. It's nuts. It's just nuts. Nuts. Look at all these cases that you just dismiss, sexual assault, all this stuff. It's crazy. You know, the DA's legal name and ethical obligation to dismiss or decline charges if they don't think they can prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not proof of anything, though. It may suggest police need better training. I mean, the same DA who became the advocate for a defendant who admitted to repeated sexual abuse of her own special needs student, leading to 20 years probation. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these people don't know what they're talking about. It's crazy. I wish people really paid attention to what their lawmakers are doing behind the scenes. Demon rats have been trying to legalize pedophilia for years now. California, Colorado, Minnesota are the worst offenders. Maybe if people paid attention to their crooked politicians and what they're trying to push behind the scenes, it could have been stopped. I've been warning about this for the past 10 years. If you're not watching this video and sharing it, you're part of the problem. Democrats are legalizing raping babies. Yes, they are. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're demon rats. This is a response to Tillis holding up the nomination of the new Fed chairman. He has demanded that the criminal investigation be closed. Fine, done. The IG investigation is not a criminal investigation, but it can lead to a criminal referral depending on the findings. That's right. I didn't like his immigration answer either. What does that mean? Oh, you're talking about the guy. Talking about the guy running for governor. Okay. No naturalized citizen I know supports open borders. Yeah. Well, this is not about that. Maybe there's no criminality, only incompetence in the feds remodeling with $2 billion in overruns. But what subpoenas were intended to look for, the IG can compel production of info for the Fed without a subpoena. Yeah. I don't understand why we need a subpoena from a government. Like, here's the thing. Why would the federal government need a subpoena to get records from the federal government? The Federal Reserve is part of the government. It was established by Congress. It's part of the executive branch, just like the post offices. You don't need a fucking subpoena to get records from your own business. It's just like, does Trump need a subpoena to get records from the State Department or from the DOJ? Like if someone, no. The DOJ, you don't. The government doesn't need subpoenas to get stuff from the government. If white South Africans can't become African Americans, it must be really bad here. Miami, here I come. Oh. He's currently getting a doctorate in Chicago. Well, Vivek's answer. Oh, okay. Jimmy, you're stuck with me, buddy. I ain't going nowhere. Oh, okay. All right. Vivek's answer. All right. Okay. Thank you. So we expect IG Michael Horowitz to actually do a thorough, transparent investigation, really, after he determined Crossfire Hurricane spying against Trump was justified and not politically biased. I think not. Yeah. That's where we're at with that. Okay. Check this out. It's official. Pete Hegseth is firing U.S. military nuclear chief Andrew Hugg after he was exposed by James O'Keefe divulging highly sensitive nuclear materials. You don't need recklessness in our military.
Thank you. Michael Casey with O'Keefe Media Group. Earlier this week, James O'Keefe published a story on Department of Army Nuclear Chief Andrew Hugg, who revealed top secret national security information to a stranger he met on a dating app. Will you defer Mr. Hugg for termination and prosecution?
Yeah, he won't work here anymore.
And given the revelations,
It's an easy one.
Will any changes be made to the current anti-espionage training for all Department of War employees now, given this?
Well, we're always on the lookout for CI threats, any internal threats, anyone talking out of school about things they should not. We take leaking very seriously here, informally or formally, which is why some of the reporting done by some of the people in here is incredibly problematic. They're willing to publish things based on classified information that would potentially harm those in harm's way. And we think them doing so is incredibly irresponsible and unpatriotic. And it would encourage members of the press to think twice about the lives they're affecting when they publish things in their publications like the New York Times. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Good, but did the police confiscate O'Keefe's guns last night? We need answers. Yeah, the stuff with O'Keefe is crazy. Yeah, here it is. Last night, a judge in the 11th Judicial Circuit Court ordered me to surrender my personal firearms to the West Palm Beach Police Department or face contempt and possible jail time. Today, the firearms are being returned to me. Why did this happen? I conducted an investigation into former Project Veritas board member Matthew Termott, a man who has repeatedly stated he wanted to kill him. This guy kept threatening to kill O'Keefe. Wonder why they confiscated James's guns? Yeah, well, they had to give them back today. You can't go back to the PR. You have tenants in the house. Okay. This individual is the same person who forced him out of his company. He filed a complaint against him and one of the undercover reporters in Domestic Violence Division, alleging stalking. A judge ordered them to surrender their firearms. The person who filed the complaint should be subject to like a lawsuit for what he did, because this is not, can't do this for people you're not in a relationship with that aren't, this is insane. Insane. What precedent does it set for the country if I'm forced to surrender my Second Amendment rights for investigating a man who has openly expressed a desire to murder me? Again, why are we breaking, are we at a breaking point in this country? Thanks to the judge for returning him to him. Here's this guy. Let's see what he says.
I said you want to carve out his heart and eat it in front of him.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the quote.
So this guy shot up my book and bragged that he wants to kill me. There's a bullet right through my heart.
But don't you feel bad because he was your friend?
I would kill him because he is one of the most evil people I've ever known. I got multiple people who know me well. And
wow, that music might be a problem. Playing in the background, I wonder.
know my relations with Charlie, and he messaged me after Charlie was shot and said, be honest, when he was shot, did you not for a second wish that it was James? And I've honestly responded to every one of those people. The second I saw him get shot, I wished, that was my immediate first reaction, was why couldn't it have been O'Keefe? I said,
wow. And this guy went, wow, this guy went and got an order of protection against O'Keefe, and then they showed up to take all his guns and stuff. Like, here's a video of him coming in to take his guns.
So we keep walking
Wow.
all the way back. There's a ottoman over here. Everything's on. This is all three? Yep. This is it.
I could definitely go in the back. Yeah.
It's on the paper.
Well, sorry, Renee Collins. Sorry, so really never gonna know. I don't know why. Did you make sure, Renee? Did you make sure you go into YouTube and click and say like you got to go and click on my channel and you got to select all for all notifications, not personalized. You got to select all notifications. You got to make sure the bell is like YouTube will shut it off on you. Sometimes you might want to shut it off and then turn it back on and then leave and refresh and make sure it's still on, because YouTube, they'll do that to you. But I'm sorry. Yes, I've already been going. I'm coming up on 4 hours already. Oh, look, DEI officers. Yeah, look. Is he looking down the barrel of a gun? Hey, what's up, Denisha Brittle? How you doing? Great to see you tonight.
No, we good. All right, we'll figure it out.
You guys need anything from him?
We just need his, I mean, as long as we.
I've got his date of birth.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Okay. All right. They don't need to see James.
Why? I mean, why was his guns at his office and not in his house? YouTube is being a dick. Yeah, they are. They'll do that. Even as a member. Yeah, you still have to select, even as a member. You don't want to unsubscribe as a member, but what I'm saying is you click on the bell. You got to select that you want notifications on the bell, all notifications, and it'll show like a bell. Like here, let's do a tutorial real quick. Oh, I can't because I'm me. It won't let me do it. It won't let me do it because I'm me. I guess I could do some other channel. Okay, I could do this. Yeah, I'll do this here. Good Logic. I'll show you on Good Logic's channel how it works. All right. Okay. All right. You see where it says subscribed here? You see the bell, how it's got the stars around it? That's all. Okay. So you could go to none and then refresh and then go back to all. Just want to make sure it's this right here is what it's set on with this on the page. When it's, I'm on Good Logic, say Jim tells you and all that. So that's what you want to make sure it says on there. And that way you'll get the bells. That's on the home page. All right. You are belled. YouTube is awful. Yeah. Okay. That sucks then. Wow. 100 watching, 100 likes. And everyone clicked the thumbs up. That's awesome. Awesome. Rincon. Yeah. I'm cracking Billy Idol. Oh, that's good. It's a nice day for a white wedding. And that's 68 away now, just 68 away from a second additional hour. Thank you so much. What's Rincon? I think that's, isn't that the headphones people wear? Did I say Rincon? I don't know. What do you mean? A place with good food and surfing. Oh, okay. No, never mind. I get it. I get it now. The police just came to my office and confiscated all my guns. Oh. Oh, check this out. This is a very interesting story here. From the DOJ, an indictment was unsealed today in the Western District of Texas. That's Raycon? Okay, yeah, it's Raycon. Rebel yell, it's got more. In the midnight hour, she wants more. Than a rebel yell. I thought it was Rincon Casino. I thought maybe it was Recon from Ray Donovan's. So Jafar Tafakouri, an Iranian national for his role in coordinating the smuggling of illegal aliens into the United States. You don't say. Tafakouri was arrested in Colombia at the request of the United States. An indictment was unsealed today in the Western Texas. For Tafakouri was arrested in Colombia. According to the indictment, from at least December 1st, 2022 to about May 15th, 2024, Tafakouri allegedly brought large amounts of aliens, primarily Iranian nationals, into the United States in exchange for payment. Tafakouri charged some aliens as much as $30,000 for his services. Wow, that's cool. They got him. All that. Oh, this is a funny thing. So CNN, there was some wildfires and stuff with the storms in Georgia. And so CNN went to this lady's fucking property. And while they were there filming, the lady comes out and starts screaming at them to get off the property that they don't have permission to be there. Like, that's funny. Like, you would think they would have got permission. Oh, wait.
Wildfires burning out of control across the southeastern United States. And
Dogs are right there. Get away.
You got it. We are, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're,
all
we're
right,
gonna
go
we're gonna
ahead
leave
and
it here.
wrap up.
Okay. You got it.
Okay, thank you, Derek. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm worried about not just southern Georgia, but northern Florida as well, because it could these wildfires could really.
Yeah, so see that people don't know CNN's fake news. They don't want them on their property. They don't want them anywhere near it. So, well, everybody. Unfortunately, we've already gone 3 hours and 45 minutes. We did not hit the second goal to add an additional hour. So I think that's going to be it for tonight. Let's set another drink. I'll give you some time to think. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for the night. I will see you guys all tomorrow night, Saturday night, I think around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tomorrow night, something like that, for a Saturday night show. It should be a really, really good show. But until then, please remember, yes, we're going to rage third Rallify. Please remember to take care of your animals, take care of yourself, stay hydrated, be safe out there. And come on back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news.